I see my father. Low there do I see my mother, my sisters, and my brothers. Where do I see the line of my people? Back to the beginning.
No, they do call to me. They will be taking place.
In the halls of Valhalla,
Where they
live.
How do you like that for an intro? Put a one in the chat if you got the video or you got the audio right now. I've been struggling today. Yes, today is a Saturday edition of the Irrational Mail. You'll have to forgive me. I am high on gabapentin and various other drugs today. I'll explain later. Apologies, I had a sort of I still have a medical emergency right now. Yeah, I know it's not perfect. We'll see what we can do. As long as this works, we'll be all right. Where'd it go? All right, how about this one first?
What's happened to masculinity the last few years? Masculinity is far everyone. Yeah, I'm an alpha, dude. Do you have any idea how many alphas are out there? Every dude that's ever seen a kettlebell, I'm an alpha. It's like, do you know anything about wolves? There's only one alpha. And it's Joe Rogan. It's not you. He's your alpha. And you say what he says. Oh, the other day I was thinking, were you? Or are you just listening and repeating? I'm an alpha. No, Joe Rogan's your alpha. He feeds you supplements like a baby bird. He gives you things to say, and like a baby, like, more Joe Rogan. Nom, 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 nom. And you walk around, the alpha there.
Fact that men are evil, that is true. Like man as a whole is evil. Like just as an entity, a general idea. Men have inflicted violence and oppression on the world in ways that are irreparable. Like, it's okay if we say that out loud. It's okay if we say that men are inherently evil. It's like, it's not all men, but for some reason, always a man. Every time something terrible happens, always a man, like 99% of the time. So
You guys remember who this is? And is my audio okay? I hope my audio is okay. This is my test run here in the new studio. You guys remember Drew Afualo? Yeah, she's back again. Yeah. Thought I'd throw this one on here for the intro videos because this is making the rounds right now. I think it's fascinating that we have I don't know, some sort of like the Democratic National Committee or whatever the hell is. Audio's okay? Thank you. Good. Yeah, I put echo cancellation back on. But Drew Afualo is back. I've locked horns with this bitch God knows how many times. Was it Myron Gaines and I did a full dedicated show just tearing her down back in, I don't know, February of 2022, something like that. But yeah, I know she's bigger, she's fatter, and her fingernails grew. I like, what the hell, like, ladies, why do you think is it like you grab a guy's dick or something like that and it's supposed to be sexy to have this big old, like, these fucking claw hammer nails around him? But anyways, I just thought I'd throw this on here because this is making the rounds.
I feel like it's a lot simpler than people may think. I don't hate my man. I hate most men. And for me, I think given what men have done to me personally, to people I love, and the world as a whole.
Notice how like logical this sounds. Like only a chick could say this, and only a whack job chick like her could say this.
If they all start guilty and have to work their way to innocent, it's not really a big deal to me. I feel very like convicted in that. It's very like, if you're not awful, prove it. Yeah. Quit talking about it and fucking do it. Because the men who complain that they really hate hearing like, oh, what about all men? Oh, all men, all men. A lot of this, not a lot of action.
Yeah, well, there's not a lot of action going on with her. This is
boys to control their natures, but we don't raise girls to control their natures. Boys are told, you got to control your sexual nature, you got to control your aggression. What do we tell girls to control?
Right. Nothing.
Nothing. But they have to control their emotions. And whenever I have said that, the left wing on the internet goes crazy that this is misogyny. Oh, we have to control our emotions. Well, first of all, everybody.
I got to stop Dennis Prager here for a second. It's not just the left, my friend. It's also the right. It's also the kind of like low key, sus level feminists on the right do the same thing.
He has to control their emotions. But the notion that women are not born perfect,
Right.
is insulting to them.
Yeah. See, men are inherently evil, right? That's why. About this.
Weak men see strong women as too masculine and not feminine. It's always the super soft, kind of milky looking bag of shit dude who doesn't lift, who says muscles on women is too masculine. It's the men who are insecure because the woman looks better than them that says it's too masculine. Next time you see a woman doing a big lift in the gym, go to the comment section instantly and you'll see a bunch of soy boys losing their goddamn minds in the
He's not wrong. I hate to say it, he's not wrong.
comments below. Ew, you look so gross. This is manly. You shouldn't lift heavy. Women are meant to be soft, feminine. Shut the fuck up, dude. It's never the jack dude who says that's too masculine. You should stop doing that.
Very true. I know people are going to fight me on this one, but very true. Let's do, this one here.
Study where I had people smell sweaty t-shirts of, members of the opposite sex, if they were heterosexual, to see if, how attracted they felt to the person just based on the smell of their sweaty t-shirt. And people were more drawn to people who had very different immune systems than their own. So I think this is something, we see it in mice and it's easy to say, they're animals. Of course they do that, but we do it as humans too. And it'd be interesting to know to what extent that's influencing our choice of mates and spouses.
Super interesting.
Sounds to me like dual mate strategy. Sounds to me like, something that might, point in the direction of ovulatory shift.
So they're given a choice of sweaty clothing from the opposite sex, potential partner. I guess I don't know if they were, sent out on dates after the experiment, but they're smelling, let's say 10 different t-shirts that are sweaty. And then they're saying, and then they rank order them. And the one they like the most, if you go and look at the genome of the person whose sweat was on that clothing.
And specifically the immune system that you're talking about. The more different they were in that, the more attracted they were to that smell.
See, that also kind of like flies in the face of assortative mating too, because it's the differences, not the similarities. So, like I've said before, it's not going to be Evo Psych that, proves the, human mating strategies. It's going to be Evo Bio that's going to do that. Also, I got a question. Here, let me put this on. I got a question. We're not done yet. Hello, people. I got a question. If this is the case, if women can smell testosterone on a sweaty t-shirt, right? If you're on gear or TRT, does that like amplify? Does that amplify the effect? I want to know, because if you're high T, and you're artificially high T, does that amplify the effect? I really would like to know.
Ukrainians, are you ready to have X on the first date?
Да, отлично вообще. А чё нет? Если ты свободная девушка, чё нет?
Норма це чи не норма, але мені сподобалось. У мене з дружиною було саме так.
Конечно, когда мало времени, если есть эта искра, эта химия, с удовольствием, да. Норма. Що люди відчули, що це воно, то чому б ні? Я від нічого цього не бачу. На першому ні, на другому.
Dude, all these chicks are down for a same night lay.
Всех, мне кажется, были секс на первом свидании. Но на самом деле, если судить здраво умом, то это как бы не есть ок. Для девочки. Если она выпившая, она согласится. Если она не без отношений. Если просто на душе кошки скребут, знаешь, хочется душу отвести, простите, то, думаю, да, может быть. Ні, мені не підходить. Ну, це не можна сказати, що це норма, але це, типа, і не то, щоб сказати, не ок. Типа, ну, таке теж буває.
Я думаю, ні. Треба якийсь час поспілкуватися з людиною, щоб вона тобі прям сподобалась, щоб це доповнювало просто фізичний процес.
Help us reach 10,000 subscribers to keep growing. Follow us.
How about not? Yeah, it's normal.
Want a confidence is very
Okay, it's Jake Monroe time. Jake Monroe time. Don't let the face fool you.
seductive. A confident man that knows exactly what he wants in his life, that is out fighting tooth and nail, fucking in the trenches to progress, to get better, and knows exactly which way he's heading. That is a man that a woman will take home and show her parents and be proud of.
Women now. He's talking about women, not girls. That's a distinction that needs to be made. What girls find attractive and what women find attractive are two entirely different things. And I can tell you that whenever a man or whenever a woman is talking about what a man needs to be or what a woman is looking for, girls will giggle and laugh and be like, that's absolutely incorrect. Women want this. No, it's because you're a girl. You have absolutely no concept of what you need, what's actually important, what goes the distance, what stands the test of time. So you could say that we shouldn't be listening to girls anymore. We should be listening to women and the men that these women choose.
Peterson, would you rather suck off one guy 10 times or 10 guys one time each?
By the time you're being asked to choose which cock to suck, you've made so many catastrophic errors that there's nothing you can do that isn't a sin.
Well, it's like a would you rather. So if you don't pick, I think they pick for you. So either way, you're sucking someone off.
Says you. And what exactly do you mean by suck off? What do you mean by rather?
Suck off's like to completion, and then would you rather is like you have to choose one.
And who's to say I don't suck off one guy 10 times only to have them demand I suck off the other 10 anyways? Who's to say it stops there? What if, as a consequence of my previous mistakes, they bring in more men for me to suck off?
Well, I guess after you do the sucking, they let you go.
And if your life is steeped in sin, you're likely to live in circumstances like that.
Well, I guess the goal is you want to try like the least gay option.
And what's obvious about that?
Well, I don't think you'd want to choose the more gay option unless you're gay, I guess.
Don't play games. I know what you're trying to do. You're trying to back me into a corner where I have no choice other than to suck off men.
Some people would make the argument that sucking off the same guy 10 times is kind of gayer because you get to know him and it becomes a relationship.
Don't be so sure.
Okay, well,
I think you should give up on that line of questioning.
Oh, wait, are you saying that choosing is the gay part? Because if you just let them choose for you, there's some deniability you didn't want to.
No, I'm saying I do everything I bloody well could so that I'm not in that situation to begin with.
What about would you rather suck off your dad or have your dad suck off you?
I already answered that.
No, this is like a different one.
I just didn't answer it in a manner you find acceptable.
Well, if you don't pick one, you die.
Then I guess I'll die.
That is a pretty good impression. I've heard better, but that's a pretty good one. Greetings, salutations. I apologize for I know this is going to be a pretty low view show. Actually, we're not at 300. I mean, combined, let me see. I got 846. It'll go up. Give it time, guys. It's like my show is kind of like a slow rolling snowball. It kind of has to get a little momentum. It's no longer worth it for me to be doing YouTube, by the way. I do this for you guys because it's the love in my heart. I make more money off of Substack now than I do off of YouTube, which is by the YouTube's design. They basically rig the algorithm so you will fail, so you'll give up. And I think I brought this up a couple times like in the past, but not only do they blacklist you, they make sure your impressions are off. And the reason I know this is because I have 3 channels. I have I have the Clips channel, I have this channel, and then I have the Access Vegas channel. The Access Vegas channel, which is demonetized, it's 8,300 right now, and it's growing. This channel, not growing. All it does is just flatline and stays one way because they know it's me. That's why they know. And until something better comes on, I mean, I could go. Do you want me to go to Rumble? I don't know. I've been trying to simulcast on Rumble, but I get no traction on Rumble whatsoever because Rumble is basically Twitch kids. And also I should say this is that until Rumble gets something different on there, like Rumble is where all these sort of disaffected, like radical conservatives go because YouTube won't have anything to do with them. And that's, to me anyways, seems to be the sole purpose of Rumble. It's like this alternative channel for that kind of niche or that kind of material. And like you're not going to go to Rumble and like find fishing channels, which is, if I ever pivot out of a red pill, look for me on a fishing channel, because I will probably do that. I really enjoyed myself. All right, so let's get a few things out of the way. I'll get to your super chats here in just a moment. I wanted to have them loaded. I do. Here we go. So this is me and Thor. You guys already know that Thor is left this world and a great light has gone out in the universe. Thor and I'm going to sort of do a little retrospective here. Thor and I, we had something like our friendship was really something different. And I mean, no homo, right? But like Thor and I both come from a common ancestry. I'm Danish. I believe he comes from Norway. I'm not really sure. I know Scandinavian country. It might even be Finland or Sweden. I don't know, one of those up there. But so we kind of had that. I still have his arm band. I don't have it with me right now. I should have brought it. But we kind of have always shared this sort of common heritage, I guess. And so we always had something to talk about. I wrote the intro for his book. And there's few people I've written intros for, like forwards to their book. Thor's was the easiest for me to do. Because there's so much like stories and there's so much like, I was going to do on Sunday, I was going to do this sort of retrospective of myself and Thor. Now, if you don't know who Thor is, Red Pill Thor. His full name is Thor Markinson. He has a great book. You guys should probably check it. I think I have it in my bookcase. I'll go grab it in a second. This was me and Thor in 2022, I think. And this was like we did the what was it? The Donovan Sharp's CME, right? The Convention of Manly Excellence or some shit like that. But we got him on. This was on Fresh and Fit in the old studio. It's funny because we couldn't sit at the adults table, so we had to sit on the couch together, and we were just, like, it couldn't stop us fucking around. Thor had my back throughout the 2023 summer, when all the bullshit went down with Destiny and Lahren Southern, who we still haven't. She just fell off the face of the earth, which I'm glad to be around for. But her and Brittany Venti and all this other bullshit that was going down right at the same time as my daughter was getting married. So it was, I'm pretty Teflon. I've learned to be a lot resilient when it comes to people's hating and stuff. But I was really under attack during the summer of 2023, and Thor had my back, man. So, and not to say that nobody else did. I mean, a lot of, all my Rule Zero people did, all my RAR Squad people did. But it was good to have him around. He was also, he was my, let's say, hormone testosterone replacement therapy teacher guru, I guess, because he knows about all that stuff, peptides and all the shit that I've like. He introduced me to melanotan too, so I could get tanner because I was so freaking white. Yeah, I mean, he was just such a good guy and such a positive force in the universe, or whatever you want to call it. And so, like, when I get, let me put this over here. When I get, that's why I did the intro today. I have a standard intro when somebody dies. It's the theme from Glory, but I felt like the Viking death prayer from 13th Warrior was way more appropriate. And I have had that in my archive for ages, and I never had a opportunity to use it. So that was actually the first time I've actually used that intro on this show. I'm sorry if I'm a little low key today. My medical issues are this. I have shingles. It's all up, down. You can't see it. I'm not going to show it to you. If you give me a $500 super chat, I'll show you the shingles. Maybe I could pay off some of this medicine I'm taking. But I got shingles. I've never had shingles before, and it's painful. And so I have been dealing with that for the last week now. I have to go see a doctor tomorrow. That's why I had to do today's show today, or tomorrow's show today. So I'm kind of been doing gabapentin. They gave me the meds, the valacyclovir or some shit like that. When it comes to like sicknesses, like I don't really like to, like if I have something that I'm like dealing with, like as far as like a medical condition, I usually, unless it's like really super serious, I don't really talk about it. Simply because it's like there's a few things on there's a few things. Can you see this one? This one looks pretty good too. There are a few things that I got the 2 camera running today that I don't really talk about on YouTube or on really in general. And one of those is guns, firearms. I don't have any firearms. They're all at the bottom of a lake, a tragic boating accident. If you get that joke, you're in the club. No, actually, I have plenty of firearms, but I don't. Maybe I do. I don't talk about that because there's always an expert. There's always some guy who goes, "Oh man, you don't want that gun. You want this gun over." Oh my, you don't know anything. You know, remember, like if you like something on Twitter, people will hate you for it, and if you hate something on Twitter, they will love you for it because they think you're part of the group. One of us. Firearms is one of those things. Martial arts is another thing. Do I do martial arts? Yes, I do. I do Kali. But me just saying that I've practiced or, still do Kali, people will go, "Oh man, why aren't you doing Hoist Gracie Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? That's the only functional, you'll die in a fight with that." It's like, there's always some autistic expert in a group of 3 people. One of those guys is like a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I don't talk about that. And then I also don't talk about sicknesses, because the moment I do and I say, "Hey man, I got shingles." "Oh man, don't take anything the doctors." I'm like, "What?" "Don't take anything the doctors give you. Don't let them inject you with anything, because they'll give you an mRNA, I don't know, genetic engineered, compound or some shit like that. Take, I don't know, wheatgrass juice. Here, I'll send you here, you can buy it on Amazon. I'll give you the link." The meds that they're giving me are actually, they're working. They're just slow, but they're working. I mean, this is not a weekend like sickness. I mean, you got to kind of tough it out. And all I've been doing, I haven't been able to get to the gym, which is like driving me insane. I also have like a numbness in my right foot, and I think it might be plantar fasciitis or some shit like that. So, but if I say that, somebody's going to go, "Oh, I got the cure. Don't talk to any doctors. My chiropractors." I just don't want to have a conversation. Please. I've got too much to do. I have way too much to do. And when one of my friends dies, it reminds me of how much I have to do. And that's, I'm going to just be 100. I'm going to lower it down here so everybody can sort of understand what I'm saying. Is like, when somebody dies, it's like putting on the brakes, and I've always got my foot on the accelerator. And so when something like Thor happens, like speaking of accelerator, this is Thor. When I swear to God, this is the first time like we ever saw the car, like my Camaro, the Raven. The grill looks different. I had the front end changed it a little bit. The fascia is looks a little meaner now. This is my 2011 convertible RS Camaro, and this will be the most lasting memory I have of Thor. And so when people ask me about him, I will tell this story. And the story is this, and you guys are going to laugh your ass off. Oh, I'm glad I have like good like memories of Thor. I'm glad I have like I can laugh at the stuff that we did because we had a fucking blast on this one. I was looking for a car because pull this off. I was looking for a car because I was spending a small fortune on Ubers when I was coming down. I was living in Reno at the time, and I would come down to Vegas, and I'm like, it would probably be a good idea to get a car in Vegas, and it's Vegas, so it's got to be a hot car. It's got to be some kind of sports car. And now, this is not a Ferrari. This is not a Lambo. This is not a McLaren. I'm into American muscle, anyways, because if you know anything about my brother. And yes, I have a younger brother. His line of work is reconditioning and restoring, rebuilding classic muscle cars. And then what he does is he auction. If you would like to, he's got a really great Chevelle right now that he's got for sale. If you're interested in I think it's a 68 or 69 Chevelle right now. And I think I might even have the pictures of it. Let me know. But if you're a collector, it's good. It's about $110,000 car. But what he does is he reconditions those cars and then he sends them off to auction at Barrett-Jackson, which is usually in Vegas or it's in Scottsdale, Arizona. And sometimes you'll see, like, sometimes ESPN will like televise these things. And you'd be amazed how much these cars go for. So my brother's entire like yearly salary depends on like 2 or 3 cars that he takes to auction. And so I've always been into mostly Mopar, actually. I've never really been into Chevy too much, but my brother told me, he said, get this car because I can do more with it, right? So now it's got a twin turbo and it's a fun toy. But it was Thor who convinced me to buy it. And when they rolled it off, because it was on a flatbed truck, and they rolled it off the flatbed truck, and they said it was just on the street. It was literally on this street right here. It wasn't a dealership. It was like the dude. These guys like run these cars. It was California. It was a salvaged title. If I had seen that first, I probably never would have bought it. But then again, I might have bought it anyways, because we put the top down. And me and Thor got in there, and we're driving up and down Sahara Boulevard, which is a pretty long drag in Las Vegas. And so my most lasting memory of Thor is going to be that drive, because we were just like 2 fucking teenage idiots, like driving, like we stole Dad's car. And it was so fucking fun, and like I will always remember that. And then I was talking to him, and I'm like, do I really need this car? Because I already had a Tacoma, right? I already had my truck. He's like, do I need this car? He's like, you don't need this car. He told me, he says, you want this car. And I go, yeah. I go, but like I could find something that's, more economical, blah, 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 blah. He's like, how does this car make you feel? I said, pretty fucking good. He goes, then you should buy it. Because it's not like when you get to that point, like I have a Toyota 2015 Toyota Tacoma. That's my tank. That tows my wave runners. It used to tow my snowmobiles. Used to tow my quad with that. It's my service vehicle. So like if I need to, it's a truck. So if you need me to help you move, I'm here for you. But yeah, so so he's like, but how does the car make you feel? And I go, pretty fucking awesome. He goes, then like, that's all you're buying it for, is how the car makes you feel. And so every time I get in the car, I kind of like remember that exchange between me and Thor here when we're checking this car out. Now, this car ended up being a real pain in the ass. It was for a while, it was a money pit, because I had to, it was a salvage title. It had been in an accident. I had to have some more repairs done to it. I had to have it up to snuff so that I could even register it and like get it out of a salvage title and put it as a rebuild title, which it is. My brother helped me out with that. And then, God, I had to put a new dash in, because the airbag on the passenger side had been deployed, and that's why they totaled the car in California. If the airbag deploys, it's a total loss, but clearly it's not. It just needed little love and care and investment. And I remember getting the front fascia here, this thing fixed, that wrap in the front there, and like fixing the headlights, fixing the what else was, the fuel relays. Oh God, what else was wrong? But it's still under 100,000 miles. It's a 2011. It's one of the more sought after years or of the series anyways. And so I thought, what the hell? I'll just put it together. Now it's my project car. And like, I was actually thinking about selling it, but then Thor passed and I'm like, I am not selling this car. Anyways, that's my most lasting memory with Thor. And I think that probably serves as a memorial for him. If I say anything else, I'm going to get choked up and then I'll have to end the stream. But I want to also point out that when somebody dies, it's like putting the brakes on for a moment. I remember when Andrew, the guy who used to be called the Private Man, I remember when he passed, he had cancer in his eye and he was about the same age as Thor. And then I remember also Tom Torero. Troy Francis will know who Tom Torero is. He used to be a pickup artist kind of guy and ended up committing suicide. And nobody saw it coming. I certainly didn't, but I was trying to help him. I was kind of a confidant to Tom Torero. Good dude. And then my best friend, one of my best friends in the world, Pat Campbell, passed. And that was a wake-up call because he was 60 years old. 61? 60, yeah, I think 61, maybe 60 when he passed. I didn't even know how old he was until I saw his obituary because he would never tell me how old he was. In fact, he told me this. He said, like, I remember Pat Campbell said, hey, never tell anybody how old you are. Never mention it. Just let them guess because then you'll have a longer run. The moment you say, yeah, I'm 62, people are like, fuck that guy. He's a grandpa. Why would you listen to this guy? Whatever. I really don't care. But yeah, I remember Pat Campbell. And then Pat Campbell is the reason for this show. He and I started the show in 2018. And the reason why we did it on Sundays at 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern, was because he was a Catholic. And that's when mass got out for him in Tulsa, Oklahoma. And then he would race home, get on StreamYard, and we would do a show. And we did much shorter shows back then. I think like half an hour, 45 minutes, sometimes even like an hour and a half, like a 90-minute show for us was like a slog. But then when he passed, I just kept going solo, right? That's what everybody said they wanted. So, and I did it for gravy money. I was never a big deal for him. I can remember when I was making $10,000 and $12,000 a month off of this channel. Now I'm lucky if I get 2 or 3, and $1,000 of that has to go to Nick, who does my clips. So it's not worth it for me to do this show anymore, like financially, but I'll do it anyways, just because I feel like I want to. You're not getting rid of me. Fuck you. So then there's Pat. And then Kevin Samuels passed, May 3rd? Or was it Cinco de Mayo? I don't remember. I wonder if people still even remember when he passed. Because I'm struggling to remember if it was the 3rd. I think it was the 3rd of May. And that was some fucked up shit because like all these women were just like, oh, this is an early Mother's Day present. Thank you, Lord Jesus, for killing Kevin Samuels in some hotel room with some escort he had there. Trust me, it wasn't too many Red Bulls. It was something else. I don't know what, but I'm not going with the Red Bull theory. But anyway, so then there was Kevin Samuels, and then there was Alan Roger Curry. And Alan and I, we didn't always see eye to eye simply because he was more about direct. He was just straight up direct game, and nothing else existed. And don't worry, I don't have cancer. My medical issues is shingles. It's completely treatable. I'll be fine. But I am contagious right now, so that's why I didn't do this show in the studio today. Yeah, I learned that. I know everything you'd ever want to know about shingles. And please don't give me the holistic cure. Please, God, Lord in heaven, I've had enough. So then there's Alan Roger Curry. And I like Alan. I loved him, really. I mean, I remember doing his show before I even showed my face. Like, I was doing all audio back then because I couldn't show my face because I was still working for the liquor industry. And I was worried about the brands that I was representing who would like see me and go, is that the guy? Yeah. I didn't want to risk that. But I remember Alan Roger Curry doing his show back in the long ago, and formed kind of a friendship with him. I got him off, tragically, I got him on the 21 convention. But so then there was him, and now we got Thor. And I will admit, mea culpa. I will admit that it was hard for me to listen to the diagnosis because it was so much like Pat Campbell. It was brain cancer, right? They operated. He had chemo, God knows how many times, which is exactly what Pat Campbell went through. And it's like I was reliving it, and I'm reliving it now. And I don't know what the fuck to say, because when you have, I mean, it's so similar. It's scary. Like the brain stuff, like that's exactly what Pat had. Pat at least survived a car crash or ditching his car. I remember the day. In fact, I still have the texts, which is kind of creepy. I have the texts from his wife telling me that there was going to be no show because Pat couldn't make it because he'd been in a car accident. I'm like, holy shit, a car accident? What she failed to tell me was that he had an aneurysm or something like popped in his brain, and that's what made him black out. And then, of course, he ditched his car. Thank God he was just driving along and didn't get into a real auto accident. I knew he had cancer before he did, because Dr. Everett Cooper, or Everett, Dr. Everett, not Cooper. Piper, Dr. Everett, thank you. Dr. Everett Piper told me the diagnosis before he'd come out of his coma. And that was kind of like weird for me to know that. And I wasn't going to say anything because it was up to the doctors to actually tell him. But I knew, and they gave him about 6 months to live. And I don't know that the doctors gave Thor 6 months to live, but he lasted about 18 months. And that's pretty much the same amount of time that Thor lasted. And it's just like, I think for me, like, I know people have done memorials and stuff, and thank you for doing that. And, even Glenn Lawrence, thank you for doing the shit for Thor. But and everybody else who was involved in his sort of memorial thing. But I want everybody to know that, I had a very special brotherhood with Thor. And so it kind of sticks and twists the knife a little bit more because I've gone through this before. So you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little standoffish about all this shit. So anyways, that's my dedication to Thor, and I'm going to move on now. Otherwise I'm going to start crying. So, let's see what the commentariat has to say. FYI, Bob Rollo, we missed you on Sunday. What happened? I got shingles. Would you like to see? They're nasty. They are.
That's nasty. It is nasty,
Yes.
right? Isn't it nasty? Oh,
Yes, Uhu is right. And it hurts like fuck right now too, because I'm staying in one position and like I almost have to like move around a little bit because they hurt. There's also there's the skin part of it and the rash and everything. It's like just nasty and fucked up. But then there's like internal pain too, and that's what's really got me right now. Like I can deal, like it feels like a bad sunburn, right? But like the internal shit, that's what they give you. They give you the drugs for. I got a funny story for you too. Rolo, what did you think of Jed on Access Vegas? I thought that was a stroke of fucking genius. Thank you. No, she asked me actually to be on the show. We will have her back. Yes. Will she be back? Absolutely. Also, can't get over Zoe's comment calling her Miss Rachel of the Red Pill. She's more like the Joan Rivers of the Red Pill, but they don't know who Joan Rivers is, so it's all right. She's like a mob. She's like a mob wife, and we're the mob. Can we get Jake Monroe on Access Vegas? I am trying. I DM'd him on Instagram. I like him a lot. Like you guys always see him with he's got the clown makeup on. It's his goth look. It's cool. Like just do your thing, man. It gets eyes on the screen. That's number one. And then he also has different looks. By the way, it's not just he doesn't just stick to that one. If you follow him on Instagram, it's like the real Jake Monroe at the real Jake Monroe. That's if you want to follow him. Just a good dude, man. I as soon as I started seeing his stuff in my feed, I'm like, who is this? And well, like I like goth lifestyle. I'm not gonna lie, dude. I dig on all the goth girls that we get on the show. I like rocker chicks, as you probably can guess. I'm the rock. By the way, I'm the rock star that married the cheerleader. My wife, literally, she was a cheerleader. Yeah, as soon as I possibly can, Siege, I really want him on the show. Rumble's a good platform to have deeper conversations. Yeah, not by the commentariat there. If or when you do a stream with TFM, it would be better to do it on Rumble. Yeah, I probably will. Isn't he banned on YouTube anyways? And by the way, TFM, Turd Flinging Monkey, right? One of the things, like, I love TFM. Okay. And I know he knows that I like him and he likes me too. We like each other. But it's really hard for me to quote TFM when his name is Turd Flinging Monkey and people are like, yeah, you got to see this great video. It's from 2016 and he's just, tearing into what Allie Beth Stuckey and PragerU. And people think PragerU just cropped up like last year. PragerU's been around for a very long time. Allie Beth Stuckey, what is she, like 40 now? But they were having the same conversations then that we're having right now. We need more masculinity, not less. I heard that before. Oh yeah, my friend Turd Flinging Monkey. Like if it was just something like Thomas Aquinas, like think of a different pseudonym, like I could probably pull it off, but it's always awkward for me to because he's so brilliant. And it's the same thing with Jake Monroe. I love Jake Monroe's material. People go, he's a degenerate. Well, why? He's like, the stuff that he's talking about is exactly the shit that you guys talk about. Well, he looks funny. Okay. I look funny too, by the way. Like, take off that beanie. Why do you wear that beanie? I'm going to tell you, like, go into these deep, like, illustrative definitions and just like deep dive into like alpha widows or the war brides syndrome or God knows any one of the iron rules. I can just go deep in the paint for fucking all this stuff and just like throw out the gems. Why does he wear that diaper on his head? Why does it bother you? That's what gets me. Why does this bother you? He almost took it off. By the way, I'm going to shave my head this year. I think I'm pretty much done with the long hair thing. Matt Heafy from Trivium has bald head, right? So if Matt can pull it off, Roll Tomasi can pull it off, right? Rip Thor, it was awesome getting to talk to him on the streams. His TRT videos were very helpful, and he introduced me to the world of kettlebells. Yeah, by the way, he also played D&D with us on a few times on The Masculine Geek. He was into a lot of the same nerdy shit that I am. I think I got him into Warhammer 40,000 towards the end of his life, and I introduced him to the Space Wolves, of course. So yeah, have it. Yeah. See, look, he's got a beanie. What the hell? See, Crom, if Lord Crom can have a beanie, his understudy Rollo Tomasi can too. What if I did a Jake Monroe and I just did like white face and just like, what if I painted my face like the Crow? Like then would people, what does he paint? Why does he do that? To get you to say that. Anyways, I also want to throw a big shout out. Okay, so I have, oddly enough, I actually do have my notes for today's show. So I want to, before I do that, I have to sort of fill you guys in on the Reignite project that I'm working. Project Reignite. If you go to reignitealpha.com, you'll get all of the information and sort of, if you want the pitch, please go there. But we had I wasn't able to sort of really do an analysis because I had to take last week off, right? I wasn't really able to do an in-depth analysis of what we did in Miami, and one of our guys got laid. So if you think that old guys can't get laid with younger women, you are wrong, my friend, and I can show you live in real time. But it's great to watch the progression of these guys like Harold and Steve, and you guys know who you are, and watch you kind of grow from what you were to what you are right now. And it's like the transformation is, I knew there'd be a transformation, but I just like to experience it live in real time is like, that's a reward. By the way, we made no money. We actually spent too much money on the Miami trip, but I'm here for it. I mean, it'll grow. Well, like I said, it snowballs, right? What is it? Amazon didn't show a profit for the first 4 years, but I enjoy doing it, right? I'm going to do the things that I enjoy doing. I've decided, especially now I have forced to have some downtime with these shingles. I've decided I'm going to focus more on writing right now. I'm about halfway through the new book. I expect I should be published by August if I keep at the present pace. So Q3 of 2025, I'm going to publish Reignite, which is going to be the title of it. What's the working title right now? I'll probably just go with that. And I'll explain to you my thinking about the new book, sort of in bits and pieces, but I have been focusing primarily on Substack. If you are not a follower, it's only $10 a month, man. It's less than two coffees. I don't know how much a coffee is these days. That's probably one coffee at Starbucks with like a shot of vanilla and foam and whatever the fuck it is. I don't know. I only get black coffee. I only drink black coffee. I don't like. I look at the menu at Starbucks. Like, you get coffee flavored coffee. What flavor would you like? How about coffee? But so the Reignite group is really kind of flowing, and I really just, I don't like to do funnel speak. I don't do sales. I'm not a pitch man. I'm an ideas guy. And this was a great idea, and I'm all about it. And I wanted to share it with you guys too. If you're not initiated with the Reignite group, on June 14th, you have a chance to check it out, because I'm going to do another free Zoom call, free. So I'm just giving this shit away. It's going to go for probably about 2 hours. It'll be I've done it before. You guys asked for the recording of the last one, which I think we have, but we haven't published it yet. I kind of don't want to do it until the next one comes out. But we are recording them as well. So you guys, again, so you can get a good idea. Yeah, Reignite. And then, yeah, you're right. E. Jones. Yeah, I am definitely planning. It's already done technically. It's basically a bunch of charts and just connecting the dots. Actually, 1971 will be a very easy book to write. It'll be a fun book to write too. I also have a work of fiction that I'm doing right now. It's going to go in the anthology of Masculine Geek anthology once I get away from this other shit. I know Ryan's book, The Dog Walker or whatever it is doing pretty well for him. And I think that there's a definite space for red pill authors, certainly male authors in general. Like if you go and you look at like Goodreads, or you look at like, I don't know if you subscribe to Amazon in some fashion, but if you get like the top books for the month, whatever, like if you have Audible or you're interested in just reading in general, if you look at the top books, they're like out of 10, I think there's one male author, maybe two. It's all women, and it's all the same themes. And I think we need to change that. So I plan on getting involved in that. Right. Put my money where my mouth is. And that's where my greatest strength is in my writing. So I'm focusing primarily on authorship. Is that what it's called? Anyways, so there you have it. Oh, you know what? I can do this now. Holy shit. I forgot about that. Forgot you can where is it over here? Yeah, right there. There you go. Juba, you're the first one on there. Do you know what the phenomenon of self-realization is? Very out of topic. I've heard of it before. I've read it. I've read about you have to shock yourself into self-realization. Like I have to tell Ned that. Ned thinks he's a human. He has to shock himself into realization that he's a dog. Yeah, I saw that, Crom. I know Ryan's got a new book that he's working on, a cyberpunk book. Mine is a little, I don't want to give it away because somebody will steal my ideas. I'll give it to you in bits and pieces. One of the things about like Substack is it allows you the freedom to, like, if you're like me, if you're just an author, I don't do anything but red pill material, but I would like to get into doing stories and stuff. And so I might like start publishing some stuff, some fiction on Substack, and just see how it goes. Like see what people dig on, and to sort of like A/B testing, I guess. I don't know. But I need to start like getting my fiction stuff out there too, because I think I'm a pretty good fiction writer. If you guys watch The Masculine Geek and you see me doing the Dungeons and Dragons stuff, I think I'm a pretty good storyteller. So I like to think so. I know my English pretty well. I know I'll just say it. I'm a damn good writer. So anyways, those are my thinkings right there. Now, speaking of red pill, Matt Walsh, my favorite whipping boy. Matt, if you're watching this show, and I know you, maybe he doesn't, but I know your boys do, and I know your PR team does, and I know whoever's doing your production for Twitter or whatever, I'm starting to, God damn it, don't make me like you. I'm starting to like Matt Walsh, and it's weird. Because Matt Walsh is like really kind of turning to the red pill. It's funny today. I'll see if I can dig it up here. This is just the most recent thing for Matt Walsh. Go. Come on, Matt. Show me your face. Matt. There it is. Okay, here. I love this. One of Matt's one of Matt's latest tweets is this. He's commenting about Tinder is implementing a height filter for users. Hasn't it always been on there, or was that Hinge that did that? Anyways, Tinder is now putting a height filter, like how tall you are. The change will allow women to generally filter out men below their preferred height. Okay. Now, Mike and I have been doing this topic for God knows how long. Yes, height matters. Sorry, academia, intelligentsia, Evo Psych, white, ivory tower pussies. Yes, height matters. They wouldn't be doing this. They wouldn't be implementing this if it didn't. Okay, so let's just can we just cut the shit, please? Anyways, Matt Walsh responds to this. He's like, if they're going to put a height filter on men, then there should also be a weight filter on women. Of course, it's better to just not use the app at all, but fair is fair, right? Well, congratulations, Matt Walsh. You have joined the red, he's beginning to believe. Yeah, it's funny is I think, don't quote me on this, I think it was MLD who actually brought that up before anybody else. I'm like Matt Walsh sounds like the red pill circa 2020, he's catching up. He's only 5 years behind now. And we said exactly that, verbatim, there needs to be weight filters. How dare you? Knowing that it's going to agitate. It's like, Matt, just have me on the show, dude. We will have a good fucking time. You're one of the few people I think I would be cool with going on your show. Joe Rogan today, I saw a tweet. Now I know Joe Rogan doesn't do his own tweets. He's way too busy to do his own shit. But Joe Rogan's PR team was saying, who would you like to see on the show who hasn't been on the show? And I had 90 people say, Rollo Tomasi, Rollo Tomasi, Rollo Tomasi. Would you like one of these t-shirts? You can get it at the merch store. Where is that? What's the link? Well, if you click on more and you look down in the description, you'll find the link and it will take you directly to the merch store for Red One Studios, for my stuff, and for my band stuff. And Access Vegas is on there too. So if you want an Access Vegas shirt, that's where you get it. What's this? The red pill should switch to just keeping men accountable in not giving 304s of fat whales. Fat whales. There she blows. Any attention, this will sort. This is great because I can read it on the actual feed right now. This will start out resolving. Well, see, that's the problem, brother, man. I love you. Don't get here. I'll just put it up here. I love you. Don't worry, Brad. This is not a flame on you. The problem with that is it's too one-sided. Like Tomi Lahren, who I'm going to get into here in just a minute. Tomi Lahren is just saying the same fucking thing. So, that's the red pill is not your army. The red pill, we are legion. The red pill is not your army. Red pill is just information. And I'm going to stick to just information for as long as I possibly can. Now, do I do prescriptions? Do I do help? Do I do outreach? Absolutely. That's why Reignite's what it is. And we're tough love, man. Now, by the way, in Reignite, we don't have a classroom. It's not a mastermind. It's not like, we have exercises for sure. We'll tell you what's wrong with you. We'll tell you where you're weak. You know, iron sharpens iron. Yeah, it doesn't make it feel good. You know, I'm proud of my boys. I'm proud of my guys who are like, especially the guys who are in like the 45 to 55 range. I know I'm not going to name names, but there's guys who I think probably found a girl they're probably going to stick with for the long run. And then I've got a guy who spins plates. He's older than me. I've got a guy who is a year older than me, who was really he's a tough case, but and I'm just gonna say it, outdressed me at the white party, and it started to learn the game, and so it doesn't like age at this point, height at the like. By the way, all these dudes are taller than me too. I am 5'11". People keep thinking I'm some sort of manlet because they see the pictures of me with like the people in the Reignite group who are all taller than me by at least 2 to 3 inches. Now, I am taller than the average guy. The average dude is 5'9" in the United States. So I'm above average, but I ain't no 6 foot. I think, what is it, 14% of the population? It's weird to me that there's so many guys that are tall in the red pill space. Myron Gaines, 6'2", 6'3". Justin Waller, definitely, God, 6'3" at least. Mike Sartain's 6 foot. He's an inch taller than I am. Who else? Fuck. You know, like I just did Sean Kelly's show here in Vegas. That dude's got to be 7 feet tall. Like, why is he not playing like professional basketball? Dude is huge, and he's a kid. Like I think he's still in his 20s. He's a good dude. I love hanging out with him. He's just a good dude. He's fun. I like fun people. Yeah. 5'9", man. 5'9" is average. What fucking what's Tom Cruise? 5'9". Tom Cruise would never make the height requirement on Tinder. How do you like that? Yeah. But anyways, I just wanted to do a little bit of outreach to Matt Walsh. Matt, welcome, brother. One of us. I need that sound drop. If somebody can give me the sound drop for One of Us, I will definitely put it in my library. All right. Are you ready for this? Here's the fun part. Now what time is it? It's an hour. We're an hour in. I am perfectly on schedule right now. I've got, boy, do I have something for you. The topic of today's show is Mr. Jordan Peterson. Oh God, I have so many to deal with here. Should we start with the lightweight one? No, let's go with the heavy hitter. This one right here. God, this guy's eyes just like fuck with me. Here. Okay, here we go.
Relevant. Because you go to a Catholic church, don't you? Or you've attended recently. You're interested in Catholicism, aren't you?
Sure.
All right. Are you familiar with their doctrines?
Somewhat.
Okay, you're
Their
familiar.
doctrines are very
how do they
deep.
regard Mary?
Why are you asking me that?
Because you're a Christian.
You say that. I haven't claimed that.
Oh, what is this? Is this Christians versus atheists?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Yeah, right there, he's cooked. Sorry. Peterson fans, if you're here, you already know what my take on the Petersons has been since 2018. I was skeptical of the Petersons starring Jordan Peterson. I've been critical of the Petersons before it was cool to be critical of the before he decided to side with Israel. That's all it took. But this is the beginning of the end. This is if this isn't the end, this is the decline. Here we go.
Where you are right now.
Don't be a smartass.
Well,
and I mean
either you're a
'cause I
Christian
won't
or you're
talk
not.
to you if you're a smartass.
Oh, either you're a Christian or you're not. Which one is it?
I could be either of them, but I don't have to tell you.
You don't have to tell me. I was under the impression
private.
I was invited to talk to a Christian. Am I not talking to a Christian?
No, you were invited to.
I think everyone should look at the title of the YouTube channel. You're probably in the wrong.
Okay, so this is fucking great. Jubilee, fuck you. Heartfelt. Fuck you. I will tell you this right now. Jubilee, here, let me switch back. Jubilee, which is what this, by the way, this isn't a debate. This has never been a debate. Like, I'm not a big fan of Destiny. Destiny can go fuck himself. But when he went on this, like, if you're going to go on and be the center in the center table right here, you better come correct. I know they're going to get Andrew Wilson on there. Has he been on? Has Andrew Wilson been on this? Where like they do the circle of death. It's an inquisition. It's not a debate. Nobody's trying to find out like what the truth is. Nobody's looking for objective truth. It's, are you a liar or are you not? Are you a Christian or are you not? Are you a Christian?
She's not a Christian!
Yeah, see? It's not about the topic. That was funny because I was under the impression this was 1 Christian versus 20 atheists. And that's what the title of the video was before they changed it. Because the title of the video actually was 1 Christian versus 20 atheists. And it's got Jordan Peterson is the 1 Christian. Well, then they changed it to Jordan Peterson versus 20 atheists. Just because they didn't want, you know why? Because they want him to come back. They want round 2, because all this does is just put money in the pockets of Jubilee. And Jordan Peterson took the bait. Hook, line, sinker, took the bait. Stupid. I wish I had that sound. Stupid. What the fuck? Like, I'm going to continue this, but oh my God.
Wrong YouTube video.
You're really quite something, you are.
Aren't I? But you're really quite nothing, right? You're not a Christian.
Okay, I'm done with him. Why is that?
Okay, so you've got all these dumb fuck Gen Z Zoomers. That's the clip. That's why that is the clip actually. But once the round table, once you've got all these, and they're kids, they're children. You're Jordan fucking Peterson. Like, and I don't think he's that great. It's all been baffle garble. If you watch anything Vox Day has ever produced, hell, Vox Day has a book called Jordanetics that goes into all the bullshit lies and all the fucking smoke and mirrors of Jordan Peterson. Fantastic book, even to this day. People don't even know it exists. But Jordanetics, like Dianetics, Jordanetics by Vox Day, highly recommended by Rollo Tomasi. That would be on my must-read book list. But Jordan's out of his element. He doesn't know. He's almost, I hate to say this, because he's almost like Joe Biden in this. What? Where am I? Like they're trying. That's like basically what the kid's trying to do. And it worked. All right, I'm done with this one. Shouting at the clouds. Get off my lawn, you kids. He's done. That's it. Where's the audiobook for Jordanetics? It's probably on Audible. If you go to is Sam Bot in? He's probably not in. What do you think of Vox Day's work? I think Vox Day is fantastic. Siege here. Let me put you back up here. Vox Day is great. I follow him on Substack. I'm a little he's kind of leaning like really super religious and has been for quite some time now. I think he still talks about like alpha game or whatever. He still talks about like sociosexual hierarchies because he is responsible for sociosexual hierarchies. People don't even know where that came from. That came from Vox Day. And if you want to have I have written about sociosexual hierarchies, but it's really just me sort of regurgitating what Vox Day has said. Am I convinced that those are the sort of the specifications of the categories of guys? I think it provides a useful predictive framework for guys. Is it set in stone like, the holy tablets from Mount Sinai? Oh, he's a Jew. No, but but when people want to talk, like there's too many people who want to talk about, oh, I'm a Sigma game, Sigma this, Sigma male, Sigma blah, 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 blah. That's just, you're just an antisocial alpha. That's all it is. But people want to be we want to be special. That's like you're gay and you want to say you're trans. You're not. You're not trans. You're just gay and boring, and you need something to make you feel special. This is what sets me apart. If you just would if people would accept that people want to look different, people want to feel special. They want to have some attribute about them that makes them unique. It's like peacocking, right? But like sort of semi-permanent peacocking. Like I love Jake Monroe, right? Jake Monroe puts on, that's his look, that's his digs, right? And people are going to give him shit for it, but it works fucking great. He's goth. Okay. That's his thing. That's what makes him special. That's what sets him apart. That's what makes you stop and watch his reels. Apparently my beanie makes me special, right? But no, I mean the whole thing with, sort of like even Jordan Peterson, like people give me shit for like dress. What are you, 14? Why are you dressing in tank tops and you're flexing? Like I said, I can't put a picture up if people think I'm flexing. But Jordan Peterson has like custom made suits that make him look like half and half or whatever the villain. Fuck is it? The guy who flips the coin in Batman. Two-Face, yeah. Or else he's got like, he's got some jacket on with like all of this orthodox Christian, imagery of like these illuminated manuscripts. Like I don't know who his tailor is, but goddamn, I need his number. I love Christian at Jackson Maximus, but I don't know. He doesn't have access to like the Virgin Mary to make a suit. I don't know why. Anyways, oh, hey, look, I just got a subscription to Substack right now. See, you guys are on your game. You'll love it. Thank you for joining. I appreciate you. Two-Face. Tank tops rock. Yeah, you're right. Thank you, Sorrelita. Why do we have a show about a Christian debate? Well, because it's not really about a Christian debate. It's why do we have? I don't know. Maybe that's Sorrelita. Maybe you want to ask Jubilee. They're the one. Like that's my whole point for even putting this up. There's another video I'm going to throw up here. But the kid is he's on his game. I'll give him that. Like he put Peterson on the back foot on the minute he sat down. And I thought they were going to have some sort of substantive conversation, but Peterson if you do that to him, if you put him on the back foot, he's really got nothing. It's all just hot air. He can't filibuster either because there's a time limit. It's a clock where they got 5 minutes, 4 minutes, something like that. So he can't really filibuster like he usually does. And by that, I mean, like, he'll go, what do you mean about real? Let's explain real. Knowing that it will take probably 10 minutes to explain what's real and what's not real. What about the word real? Does word real really mean real? Like at what point is it like you go, okay, Jordan, Real is an abstraction. Can we move on to another? You won't move on because he doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's baffle. It's what Vox Day is called baffle garble, which is it's this new agey kind of, well, what about the moon and the stars and the cosmic energies, right? Or it's baffle garble to fill in the space so he can filibuster to the end of the show. And by the way, he's not the only one that does. Destiny does exactly the same fucking thing. Trying to think who else filibusters. The best filibusters in the world. They all tend to follow Destiny, like Not So Erudite. By the way, why would you have Not So Erudite on your show, Brian, on whatever podcast? She is an accomplice to a criminal who is an admitted sex offender. He should be on a list. Destiny should be on a sex offender list. He's already admitted to it. He's admitted to a fucking crime. And she was the one who tried to facilitate hush money with at least Pixie. I know that. She is an accomplice trying to buy her fucking silence. Guess what? You're now an accomplice to his crime. She should be in jail. She should be in a prison. Just like Destiny should be in prison right now. At least until he should have at least been arrested. But it's not going to happen. And he knows it's not going to happen. But he has admitted to a crime. And with all the shit that went down with all these leaks and everything else, it's like, why would you have, like, nothing this dude says could possibly be of any value to anyone. In fact, the only reason you have him on your show is because his name is Destiny. Not So Erudite. She's just the mouth. She's like the mouth of Sauron. that's Not So Erudite. Don't platform these fucking idiots, man. You know what their reputation is. You lessen your show by having them on, by giving them any kind of credit. They are criminals. Do you want, unless you're doing a show about criminals, why would you have them on? That's what it is. In fact, the first thing out of your mouth should have been like, why did you think it was cool to release you getting your dick sucked by Pixie? Why do you think that was cool? Why would you send those videos to chicks that you're trying to game? Essentially, that's what he was doing. Chicks he wanted to fuck. Look how good I am. This chick sucked my dick. It's like pre-selection, right? This girl sucked my dick. You should too. Going, gone. One time only. Look how great she is about it. She really loves me, and you should too. What do they call it? They call him a sex pest. Pester her for sex. Yeah, that's pretty accurate. Mad. Flakes. Mad. What's an MAD? I got 100 MADs. Somebody tell me what that is. Started implementing some stuff you teach. Do I teach it? And became unapologetic about the change. Good. That features heavily in the new book, by the way. I get more hostility and seclusion at work right now, male and female planning to quit. But in the meantime, how do I navigate this? Well, if you're going to quit anyways, does it matter? I'm thinking like, see, the thing is like, so if somebody calls you a jerk, somebody calls you an asshole, you're unapologetic about stuff. I think on some sort of like low key level, I think people have much more respect for you for being able to just sort of sit there and do what you do. Right. God, there's a great quote. I don't know. Have you guys seen it's a series in Netflix, and it's called Friends and Neighbors. That's what it is. It's got the guy from Mad Men in it. I don't remember the actor's name, but I watched the whole series. Of the season finale was like this week, and I thought it was a really great series. I thought it was fun. This guy who's like this sort of, he's this madman type. He's like sort of a hedge fund manager or something like that, like a money guy. Gets ousted from his job like illegally. They set him up for failure, basically. Sam Bada. Sam, why are you not in my... Sam, did you get a new phone? Because you're coming on my phone, but you're not coming on my feed on my computer. It's weird. Hang on. Sammy. Okay, Sammy, thank you very much. Did you change your number? Because I don't have you on my... You must have changed your number. I usually have you on on another window over here. That's okay. I'll just use the phone. But yeah, the great line in this movie is like, once you see the chaos behind the veil, then you can never watch the show the same way again. And that's where you're at right now, Flakes, is you can never watch the show. So you have to sort of adjust. This is a part of, like, if you look at the 5 stages of unplugging, this is kind of like, it's not really anger phase, but maybe sort of the denial phase. And it's really, you're gonna get pushback. But here's the thing: hang out with new people. Well, how do you navigate this? Look for new tribes. Look for a new circle of friends, because the people who were were they ever your friends? The people who are sort of in your social circle, if they're only in your social circle because of the way you were, then you need new friends. And it's hard. I realize that's really tough to say, but you're going to make new friends, or you're going to change your social circle anyways. So you may as well embrace that. Like the people that you used to hang out with and they only hung out with you because you're predictable and they knew what you were about, and now you're unpredictable. I mean, maybe some of those guys will still hang out with you and will still stick with you, but you need a new social circle. What do they say? You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with, which is kind of scary, because that dog right there is really who I spend the most time with. You want to know? Oh, you want to know funny? Here's a funny story. I got a funny story for you. So what was my medical emergency? I'll tell you again. I got shingles. I have had it for about a week now. I'll be a week tomorrow. I have meds for it. So it's a virus. I know everything you would ever want to know about shingles now, because it hurts like fuck. And I needed to know how to navigate it. Right. And then people were concerned, man, because I think I was a little bit cryptic in my announcement of last. Hey, Sammy, can you go back to your other phone, because I'm not getting you on anywhere else? Where was it? Oh, so here's the funny story. So I was kind of cryptic about because I was in a rush, man. I had to go to the urgent care. Actually, I shouldn't say urgent care was pretty cool. The urgent care on Sunday here in South Vegas, Summerlin area, they're pretty good. They're pretty on spot. I didn't have to. They got down to business right away. So I got nothing but good things to shit. I should give them a good Yelp review. I don't do that, but for them I would. The doc took one look at it and she's like, little Filipino girl. She's like, you have shingles. Like, she's like, put your shirt down. I don't want to fucking touch you. You look like a leper. Right. And, so I got it. And then I only told a few, I was like so fucked up because like they gave me these meds and everything. And, but then Mike texts me. He's like, everything okay? I'm like, well, I got shingles. He's had it too. Jake, my drummer, has had shingles as well. I'm like, how many people have shingles? I think I probably caught it, or I probably activated it through Mike, because Mike is always to my left when we do Access Vegas. But Mike was cool because Mike's like, I treat it with gabapentin. And I'm like, how am I going to get a script for gabapentin? Do I have to go back to thing? And so I looked it up, and gabapentin's a standard dosage is like 300 milligrams in one tablet, and you can take up to 3 a day. Right? I'm familiar with gabapentin because that's what Ned was on when he was going through all his medical ordeal. And I thought about it, and I go, do we have gabapentin up there? So I went and I looked in our medicine cabinet. No, holy shit, there's a full bottle of gabapentin, and it was prescribed for Ned. So now I am taking Ned's gabapentin, and it works. It actually does. But if I told my wife, I said, if I start like, feeling some uncontrollable urge to bark in the backyard, or the dog's food smells good, like, please stop me. But Ned is my drug dealer now. So at least one good thing came out of that, right? But I'm doing gabapentin, and I'm doing these other drugs that they gave me, and yeah. So you guys are lucky I even did this today. because to sit in one that you can notice, like I'm kind of moving around a little bit, and it's because it's the internal pain that fucks you up. That's my funny story for today. I got one more. Let me finish the rest of these real quick. It's not Jordan Peterson, it's Jubilee. Yes, you are correct. This is their version of Jerry Springer, like so-called debate court. Now, let me explain. So thank you. That's a good segue. I was just about to say, Jordan Peterson doesn't need to do this. He's got more money than God, dude. Like people say, oh, he's worth $10 million. He's worth way more than $10 million. I don't even know why he's still doing anything for Daily Wire at this point. The reason he does this shit is because he's got a huge ego, and he has probably always had that ego, but he's what he was what Nick Krauser would call a secret king. And he's finally having his time in the sun. And so now he doesn't need to do these shows, but he doesn't understand. Like he's still like too much, too young, too fast. He's still too young to realize that he's getting played. And he's getting played by this 19-year-old kid who's just who's like mugging for the clips. And all the people in the round they're there to do. That's what their only job is to go. That's all they do. I realize that because they do the same thing on Dr. Phil. There's people and they'll flash to his wife, and his wife will be like this, like deer in the fucking headlights, right? Right before they flash the commercial. Dove for men. Yeah, it is Jubilee. And that's why I would be I would be very hesitant to go on Jubilee. Because, like I said, it's not a debate; it is an inquisition. They're not there to determine what is true. They're there to determine if you're a fucking liar or not. That's the whole point. And I've had this discussion with Andrew Wilson on several occasions. Debate is dead. I have a whole article. If you subscribe to my Substack, you'll get it. It's called The Death of Debate. Debate used to classic debate wasn't about the other person. It was convincing a panel, not a panel. What the hell would you call it? A gallery. A gallery of people that what you have come to through your logical flow of thought, whatever, that this is true and this is not true. This is a universal truth. This is sort of a subjective, like those kinds of things. It is about finding out what is true. Then that leads to postmodern debate. Postmodern debate is this guy arguing in good faith? That's really what it kind of boils down to. It's not about this third party objective truth anymore. It's about the other guy. It's about defeating the other guy. Like if you go and you look at like the debates between like Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton, right? That's just a press opportunity. That's just all it is just FaceTime. It's who gets the best zinger in, who gets to lock her up. Do you like show your taxes, like that kind of stuff? Those are just like soundbite moments that we still remember today. And it's not about objective truth. It's not about dollars and cents. It's not about numbers. It's not about this third party truth. It's about you're a fucking liar or I'm a fucking liar. And that gives way to that was modern debate. Then there's postmodern debate. Postmodern debate is what we have right now. It's not about anything. It's not about, there's nothing substantive to it. It's just, do you believe this guy or do you believe this guy? He's a liar. I'm not a liar. Vote for Pedro. That's all it is. That's all debate is right now. It's professional wrestling. It's kayfabe. Thank you, Ryan Stone. It's who's the biggest player. And you don't have to, you can be the villain and you could be the guy that you could be the whipping boy like Jordan Peterson is here. The winner of this debate, it's not even debate. The winner of this exchange was already set. They just needed the warm body to grind his teeth like, hey, I'm an old man. You're really something, aren't you, Buster? That's what they want. That's the $1 million clip. Look, here's Jordan Peterson melting down with this 10-year-old child who's an atheist. You're right. It's the Jerry Springer effect is what it is. So Jubilee is just YouTube blood sports. There's nothing substantive to it. And people eat it up. Bravo. Yeah, you're making a shit ton of money by cooking Jordan Peterson, which ain't too easy, which is not hard to do. You can put Jordan on the back foot. And I think what's funny is like Jordan Peterson should know better by now. He's been Jordan Peterson for what? Since 2018? Jordan Peterson should know better than to go and do shit like this, but he'll do it anyway. It's going to damage his brand, but probably Michaela Peterson, who has been running his show for a long time, she's probably the one that put him up to it. I would love to see Michaela on there because the first thing I would want anybody to ask is, did you fuck Andrew Tate? Well, why? Look at all this. Here's the video of you walking across in the background. You were there, bitch. You changed clothes when you were there too. I can prove it to you. You're in a cocktail dress here. You were in a cocktail dress before. We're here to talk about business. Hands all up her ass and everything. Yeah, business. Well, I guess maybe that would be true. Gotta wiggle. Yeah. There's no debate anymore. It's just, are you an asshole? Or are you not an asshole? Ha, gotcha. Remember when you did this? That's all it is. And why would you subject yourself to it when you have that? Like, why even do this? Shit, if I had the money, if I had half the money that Peterson has, I'd be, bye. I sure shit wouldn't be here. Oh my God. I'd be in Aruba. I'd be deep sea fishing in Aruba is what I would be doing. Where's mine? Oh, there. Bye, Felicia. Yeah, I'd be out. That bullshit. If I had half of his money. What was that? Was that movie when John Goodman and I think it was Mark Wahlberg, and they were like card players or something like that. And he says, $2.5 million is fuck you money. Yeah, for 2005, maybe. You need way more than 2,000. You need way more than $2.5 million to have fuck you money today. Fuck you money just like $2.5 million floats away, my friend. Because nobody can live frugally like that. It'd be great if you could, but it'd be nice to own your own home, own your cars. I'm at the point right now where I don't have car payments just because I just buy them outright. Maybe stupidly, but fuck you money is way more than $2.5 million right now. It's probably like $10 million. But somebody knows that. The Gambler? Is that it? Yeah, the Gambler. I thought it was the Player. So, my bad. What's this? Ben Shapiro is complicit on putting Peterson on a massive pedestal as a man of reason and for the conservative right. Oh, he was a bargain. I don't know what his life like. Okay, they offered Steven Crowder $50 million. What do you think Peterson's like licensure is for to license all this shit? What do you think Peterson's getting paid? If they were going to offer $50 million for Crowder, well, now that he's still got to pay his team and everything else. Understood. They offer him $50 million, and so what is Peterson worth to? You could probably do that on Perplexity. I'm sure it's probably gone. I asked Perplexity one time. I said, "What is the net worth of Jordan Peterson?" And there's two stories. One is he's only worth $10 million because was the stated rate back in 2018, 2019. And you got to remember, he went from being this obscure teacher at Ontario University, Toronto, something like that. And he probably made six figures there, but going from like 120,000 per year to making $80,000 a month on Patreon. clearing out shows, you know, selling out shows, his books and everything else. That dude is worth way more than $10 million, especially with the money he makes from Daily Wire. Hey Rolo, how much does your StreamYard cost? My StreamYard? I have the professional plan, so it's a yearly thing. I don't know. I don't know what I just pay it and then it's a write-off because this is the one thing I use like every day or every time. I'm not sure. I have the professional plan, the one that gives you 1080 streaming. Abundance always the answer, except for heroin. They're wise words, my friend. Or gabapentin for that matter. Do you think the current friction between men and women can move down a similar path as the result of the Iranian Revolution in the late 60s and 70s? You mean to going from like being like sort of freewheeling, free love generation to you can't walk on the streets without a male escort or a hijab? No, I don't think that's ever going to happen. And I'll tell you why, because guys won't vote for it. It's not women. Like if every dude on planet Earth, you know, piled on and we're like all solidary men, yeah, you could do that, but nobody's going to do that. I would prefer women wear very less. Honestly, I would prefer that women wear the sluttiest shit that they can put on. I love it. No problem. You know, oh, she's showing her boobs. And like, come to Vegas, man. You'll have a whole different attitude about that shit, man. Do I think that would that be preferable? I mean, would that make things better? Well, guys will get pure, wholesome women. No, you won't. You just have compliant women. It's much better to have women who want to fuck you than the ones that have to fuck you. Like, I remember, what was it? Gene Simmons from Kiss. Gene Simmons from Kiss wouldn't fuck like groupies because if they were drunk. Like, he had to be sober with him because he doesn't want a chick to fuck him because she's inebriated, right? Or because her guard isn't up anymore, right? Or her inhibitions are gone because of the booze. And he used to say, I would only want to fuck girls who were sober so we could enjoy the experience, which I fully agree with. But is it preferable? Do we really want that? Let's just say, for sake of argument, that could happen. Like, we're gonna go like literally within a day, like the Ayatollah. Who's gonna be can I be the Ayatollah? We can only do that if I'm the Ayatollah of rock and rolla. The Ayatollah, the religious, groups step in and essentially run the show. I can remember having conversations not so long ago with Andrew Wilson saying, we should take marriage and put it into the hands of the church. They're the only ones with any legitimacy to really sort of regulate marriage. And I go, that's great. What church? Which church which one do I apply for? What do I have to convert to? What do I have to change my whole religious outlook for so I can get pussy? I don't know. I mean, is that what you want? Do we want something like it? Do we want it so repressive that like women can't walk on the street without dad or husband and have her in a burqa, or even, it doesn't even have to be something as extreme as that, but like have that like ultimate control. Hell, even in Saudi Arabia, that shit is like relaxing right now. I don't know. I don't. Is it preferable? That would be my question. That to you. Thank you very much. Crowder's offer was a production budget. I know, but it's a hell of a fucking production budget. Okay, what did they offer him personally? And he still turned it down. That's a lot of money to turn down. But he didn't want to be owned. I get it. I don't want to be owned by Patrick Bet David. Like all that shit that went down in 2022. Like, I wanted to work for them. I wanted to be part of Valuetainment. I wanted to co-brand with them. Thank God I didn't. I've done more solo than he's done on his own in the last, coming up on 3 years. I remember there was a video of him talking about all the great things they were going to do. This was like 3 years ago. And he's going from place to place to place. And now to his credit, he did get the big studio running. He still has the Vault studio, which is like his personal little thing. I think that's where they run the business. But you know, we're going to have this show and we're going to have this comedian and we're going to start doing these movies. And it's like all this stuff. And if you go back and you look at it, he's done nothing. The only thing he has right now is the PBD show. Even Adam Sosnick's done. Like he doesn't do his show anymore. I talked to Adam. Now, I don't want to throw him under the bus or sell him out or anything like that, but I love Adam Sosnick. I do. I just don't like who he's married to. And there was a time when I wanted to co-brand with them, and it would have been a situation like Jedediah Bila is very diplomatic. She's very careful with her words. She won't even mention Valuetainment. She'll say, the people I used to work for. That's what she would say. And she's at the point right now where she doesn't own any of that old material. Like even her name, like it has to be Jedediah Bila official. It's not the Jedediah Bila show because Valuetainment owns the Jedediah Bila show. She took the bait. I didn't. I'm glad I didn't because me and Miguel came to Vegas and we kicked ass. Now, by the way, I just want to, I want to throw this out there. Fresh from Fresh and Fit, Walt, hit me up a few days ago. And he said, hey, I'm going to be in Vegas on Wednesday. Can I use the studio to do so? Because he's here for the Bitcoin convention, which I wish I could go, but I'm fucking contagious, right? But he had Coach Greg Adams, CGA, in the studio. Didn't tell me he was going to be there. I would have been cool with it too. I'm fine. And I went and I saw him doing the show live, and I commented a little bit. I said, it's good to see him in the I'm glad Greg is in the house. I think he's here in Vegas anyways, but I'm glad he got to go to Red One. And you know why? Because my fucking studio. Because that wouldn't exist if it weren't for me, Miguel, and Charlie. Now, they're the guys who bankrolled it, so let's be honest. But that was what I set out to do, and Miguel set out to do in 2022 after we had our meeting with Patrick Bet-David, and I turned him down because it was a bullshit deal. I'm a bigger fucking name in my niche than he is in my niche. And I'm not going to, I've come too far to be anybody's fucking employee. So that's why I turned that down. But now I get to see Coach Greg Adams in my studio. That would not exist had I not gone through all that. And I'm still going through it right now. I'm glad to have them in the show. Like, he's welcome in the show anytime he wants to. I've like, people keep saying, what's your beef with CGA? I don't have a beef. I have a beef with Anthony Johnson, who he was like doing work for, and I don't work for people. What is it? I don't work with retards, and I don't work with retards who work with retards. That's what's Rich Cooper's line. And I wasn't working with anybody who was working with Anthony Johnson. And as it turns out, all the people who used to hang out with Anthony are gone because he's pushed them all away, because he spurred out on every last one of them. And now he's got nobody to play with in his sandbox anymore. And that was the only reason I had a problem with CGA, was not even him. It was the fact that he thought that working with Anthony Johnson was actually a good deal. It's not. He's an idiot. He's a psychopath is what he is. If you can't see that he's a psychopath, it's kind of like Pearl. Like I love those guys. I'm not blacklisting anybody. It's just, I can't work with you if you work with Pearl. She is diametrically opposed to anything in the red pill. People don't know that. You are only her friend insofar as she has use for you. And then when she no longer has use for you, she throws you under the bus because it makes her more clips and more money and more attention than to maintain your friendship. So fuck her. And so I can't work with people who are going to work with her. And I wouldn't be able to work with anybody who's working with Anthony Johnson either. It's just principle, man. But I like Coach Greg Adams. I love everything he has to say. I think he could fill the vacuum left by Kevin Samuels, really. And I was honored to have him in the studio. I was honored to have Fresh in the studio. Oh, and what's his name from is it John from It's Complicated? He's a good dude. He's the guy that does all the on the street stuff in Vegas. I really want to have him in just to like do a one-on-one with him from It's Complicated. Is it It's Complicated? Yeah. But I was glad to have CGA in Red One Studios. It was good. Thank you for doing that. And Fresh, you could have told me. I would have been like, shit, I would have almost, if I wasn't contagious, I probably would have gone down there. A small thank you for all the advice and knowledge and nuggets of wisdom. I was blind and you made me see it. Right. Why do my eyes hurt? Because you never use them. I'm stuck on the indirect BL-com. Indirect BL-com you talked about in the 5th book. I managed to cap on some IOI when in group, but I fumble the command presence aspect when, okay, it's not a process, man. Command presence is just a tool. It's a tool that you use in specific situations. It's like if you're getting AMOG'd, right? Maybe command presence works. If there is an implicit respect for you already, then yes, command presence works. But if you're in a casual, if you're like at the beach, if you're at Miami white party, no one cares. You don't have to be a police officer there. It's a tool. So remember, use it when you need it for a specific situation. What if, I don't know, agree and amplify would have worked better? What if amuse mastery? What if amuse mastery worked better in that situation? Remember, it's not like you go from here and here and here. Okay, and now I'm in the command phase. You know, this is Warhammer 40,000, dude. It's not like step by step by step by step. Like, stop fucking God. That's the thing that bugs me the most. Thanks, Flakes, for your comment. People want stages. They want 12 rules for life. I'm only on rule 10. How do I get to 11? That's not what it's about. Or 48 laws of power. You don't go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Like you're learning them and memorizing them. And then when you get to the 48th law of power, then you're a black belt. And now I've gone through the process. People want process. Human beings, because it's easy. Because there's no abstraction to it, right? The reason why they call it pickup artistry, PUA, is because it's an art, not a science. Pickup artist, not pickup scientist. Pickup scientist, yes, step by step by step by step. Trial and error. This didn't work. Okay, well, let's try something else. Okay? So don't think of it in terms of a step-by-step process. Think of it as a tool in your toolbox to use in the right situations. In fact, command presence is probably something that you want to use very sparingly and only when you think it's going to be respected. Remember, respect is not something you demand. It's something you command. So sad you missed the CGA Complicated Fresh collab. Yeah, I really wanted to be on that too. I didn't even know CGA was going to be on until like the last minute. Now, if Fresh had said, hey, I'm going to have, because he's asked me before, are you cool with CGA? I'm like, I'm totally cool with CGA. But like, I just don't like Anthony Johnson. And Anthony's been out of the picture for a long time. So yeah, I'm totally cool with that. In fact, I was glad he got to use the studio because it's a fucking bitchin' studio. We put a lot of money in I put a lot of money into the studio so it would look good. How many cameras do we have now? 7? We do Access Vegas there. That was my dream. My dream came true. I have my own studio in Las Vegas now. How fucking awesome is that? How many people can say, how many of those red pill guys can actually say that in Las Vegas? God, come on. This is, I feel like Syndrome and fucking the Incredibles. This is pretty fucking cool. I'm glad they came in. Glad. Come back. I would love to I would do CGA again once I'm cured. Why do women chasing men who are out of their league? Why do women chasing men who are out of their league call them emotionally unavailable? because it feels better than saying I'm an ugly bitch and I can't get this dude. I'm fat and he's not interested. Emotionally unavailable puts the onus on him and it makes her feel better. Are they just protecting their own egos? Yes. It sounds better. He's emotionally unavailable. He's a narcissist. How many guys are narcissists? Narcissism is like represented in the population to the tune of like what, 1%, 2%? Fraction of 1% of like diagnosed clinically narcissistic. He's a narcissist. That sounds better than I'm an ugly bitch and I'm out of his league. Dogs. You're going to have to put up with my dogs because I know they're going to run in here. You guys are probably okay with that though. That's the one cool thing about the home studio is it's like home. It's like home. You see, like, you see the cedar? And look, you can see that's my Cytherea. And then this is my, where did it go? And I've got my, oh, you can see it better on this one. Mother of Pearl, man. Abalone inlays. That's the sign of a quality guitar. That's my LTD. That's my Eclipse, my EC1000 limited edition. This is my very cheap Jackson Rhodes, which I'm going to change a pickup in pretty soon. Pretty nice. See, it's home. It's like the home studio. Everybody feels at home. How to pass a shit test of a girl. How to pass a shit test of a girl complaining about not getting complimented enough. Walk away. Should you compliment and how? No. I reluctantly compliment to not lose frame. You lost frame by complimenting, actually. Maybe I used too much dread. Much love. No. Snarky Schmuck. I like that name too. Maybe that has something to do with it. Compliments are positive reinforcement. It's like giving gifts or flowers or some shit like that. You know when you see flowers on a girl's desk at the office or some shit, right? And it's not Valentine's Day, and it's not her birthday, it's not a holiday. Somebody fucked up. That's what people's first impression. Oh man, what did he do? It's this big gigantic bouquet of like red roses. Either he proposed to her or he fucked some other girl when he was on his business trip. Most women, when they see that, they just unannounced flowers is bad news. Not good news. Oh, who fucked up? Even guys will say the same thing, right? But compliments are like cards on your birthday, right? Their compliments are like gifts, or they should be treated as gifts. I mean, the problem with guys giving compliments is that if you give too many of them, suddenly you're creepy. And then second of all, like, why would she be complaining about not getting compliments? That, to me, that sounds like major insecurity. How come I don't get many compliments? From who? Me? Or just dudes in general? Do you want like compliments from other dudes? Because if that's the case, I got 10 other girls. Compliments are like earned, man. Like, I look cute today. I need compliments. Stroke my ego. What? No, compliments are rewards. They are, let's see, positive reinforcement for desired behavior. I'm going to be a behaviorist now. Okay. If girl sucks your dick like a champ the night before, you're getting flowers. If she does something, it goes out of her way to please you in some way. I mean, it doesn't have to be sexual. It can be. It probably should be. But if she goes out of her way to like make your day better or to give you peace. No, there's no such thing as peace. Shut up with the peace thing. You're never going to get peace from a woman. Oh, I could do a whole fucking series of videos on that. But if she does something that makes your life a little bit easier, if she does something that's like genuinely like inspired to show you like, go for it. Do you know what the 2/3 rule is? Have I talked about that? Talk about the 2/3 rule. Okay. It's at heartiste.com. Well, heartiste.org. There we go. It's in the 16 Commandments of Poon. I know. Don't judge it by the title, please. But it's called The Rule of Two-Thirds. Where did it go? Let's see. No, it's up here. Here we go. Okay. I'm just going to read it to you. I could show it, put it on the screen, but it's easier just to read it. It's just one paragraph. Number 5, adhere to the golden ratio. Maybe this is probably the best thing you can do. Give your woman 2/3 of everything she gives you. For every 3 calls or texts, give her 2. 3 declarations of love can earn 2 in return. 3 gifts, 2 nights out. Give her 2 displays of affection and stop until she is answered with 3 more. When she speaks, you reply with fewer words. When she emotes, you emote less. The idea behind the golden ratio is twofold. It establishes your greater value by making her chase you and demonstrates that you have the self-restraint to avoid getting swept up in her personal dramas, such as, I need some more compliments. Refraining from reciprocating everything she does, you in equal measure instills in her the proper attitude of belief in your higher status. In her deepest loins, it's what she truly wants. That is the law of the 2/3. Always give her 2 and answered with 3. That's how it works. Positive reinforcement. See, she's still there. She's still on the hook. Play the fish. She's still on the hook. But you have to establish greater value. And this is there's other ways to do it than just the 2/3 rule, but this is easy. Remember I told you how people need process. This is process. 2/3. And it's not like you go, she only gave me 2 kisses this morning, so I'm waiting for the 3rd. Like that character. We're going to blow up the moon. No, it should be something that is sort of second nature. I do this all the time with my wife. Okay. I love you. I love you too. I love you. I love you too. I love you. I'm fond of you. Yes, it is. It's demonstrating. Thank you. Very, very astute. Demonstrating higher value. Thank you. That is what it is. If she is bent on is she fat? I need more compliments. Yeah, fat girls usually do. Why would you be with first off, why are you not with multiple girls? If you're spinning plates, this would not be a problem. Just saying. All right. So getting back to Peterson one more time. I've got to work my way through this. I got one more that I think puts the period at the end of this sentence. So where to go here? I have one more of Peterson. And this is, I think the guy at least made it to 2 minutes. So check this one out here too. This has been floating around. It's not as popular as the other one, but we'll look at it.
Threaten my life, right? I would lie in order to be able to save my life, right? I think you would do that too. You wouldn't lie to save your life.
Don't be so
Who has wait. What? This guy's like Lurch from the Addams Family. Is that like an android? What the fuck? What's that cowlick on the side of it? I hate to get personal and looksy, but what the fuck is that?
That too. You wouldn't lie to save your life.
Don't be so sure.
You wouldn't lie to save your life.
How much do you know about me?
You know what's funny is not only is he starting on the back, it's almost like he's just giving it to them. It's almost in some ways this might be a setup because this is the posture that he takes with all of these kids. He knows that he's under attack. He's got like I said, this is an inquisition. How much do you know about me? You're not talking to Agent Smith. What is it, the fucking Matrix? How are you going to talk if your mouth won't open? It's almost as if because he takes this position with every one of these guys, like from the jump.
I didn't lie to save my career. I didn't lie to save my clinical practice.
And nobody asked you that. He's presenting you with a hypothetical. Why? That's oddly specific.
Would you lie to like save your children, your mom, your dad?
I don't think lying would save them.
No, can there ever be a circumstance logically that lying could save someone?
Yeah, and if you're steeped in sin, you're likely to live in circumstances like that.
Remember the parody video I put on at the intro of today's show? If you're living in sin. Where did this guy come from? You know what kills me is like, this is the guy who did the Bible series. He had like Dennis Prager on there, and he had some other, like, I don't know, some other pastors and shit like that. He did this whole series for Peterson University or Peterson Academy. I don't know what it's called now. He did this whole fucking series on Christianity. I never said I was a Christian. What?
I'll give you an example. If you're like in like Nazi Germany, and it is the case that there's like Jewish people in your attic and you're trying to protect them, would you lie to like the Nazis?
I would have done everything I bloody well could, so I wouldn't be in that situation to begin with.
Yeah, but see, that's the problem. Is like he's like, he wants to avoid the question. He wants to dance around the question. It's a hypothetical, you dumb fuck. Like, you're Jordan fucking Peterson. You should be able to like sort this shit out for yourself already.
It's a hypothetical, and it's
you
not
can't answer
answerable.
hypotheticals?
No, I can't answer a hypothetical like that because
Did
it's
you eat
far.
today?
Look,
Did you
don't
eat today?
play games.
I'm not playing games. I'm just
Yes,
asking if you
you
ate
are.
it today.
If you present me with an intractable moral choice that's stripped of context and you back me into a corner, you're playing game. I just told you I would do everything that I could to make sure that I'm never in that situation. By the time you've got there,
This dude's like, there's one flag. I love how Jubilee has this like little red flagometer. I think, what is it? Is it 3 flags and you're out? I don't know what the situation. They want the guy out, not Peterson. They want the kid out because probably because the line of questioning isn't going anywhere. But look at this dude, like Jubilee. Where do you find these people? Like, where do you find this guy? Where do you find Lurch, the guy with the fucking cowlick? Like, how did that guy get to be on the show? Like, what university do they go and like, hey, I want to be on a show?
you've made so many mistakes that there's nothing you can do that isn't a sin.
Being born in Nazi Germany and trying to protect people that you care about, like there could be a Jewish friend that you have and you want to protect them.
I think you should
have
just
them in
give
your
up on
attic.
that line of questioning.
Give up on just like trying to clarify your position?
How about this? Yes, I would lie. I would. Absolutely. Oh, you're forced into sin. Well, that's okay. You're born into sin. Okay. And that's the end of the line of questioning. Because it wouldn't, if Peterson says, I'm not a Christian, that's what you say, blah, 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 blah. Why is this like a hard question to answer? If you're going to dance around the question of whether or not you're a Christian or not, then why would it matter whether you lie?
Because you don't like, are you like uncomfortable with me asking this question? It's just a basic hypothetical. Like,
okay, so this is where the kid fucks up. Oh, are you uncomfortable? See, now he's on the attack, and everybody again. It's not a debate because like Peterson's right. He is trying to back him into sort of this logical fallacy corner, right? But the kid now drops the mask and look, there's another flagometer.
I could ask you.
It's just a basic hypothetical where you put Jews' lives at stake in Nazi Germany. That's just a basic hypothetical.
Obviously, you would lie in that scenario to save their life, but you're like not trying to answer this question for some reason.
Okay, now he's answering for him.
Told you why.
Are you anti-fascist? Like, so you're
Why
anti-fascist?
are you asking that?
I was just
Yeah. See, so now the kid kind of like drops it right here. That line of questioning never should have happened. And in this case, I'm kind of like, in the other one, I was kind of like, I was for the kid. In this one, I'm against the kid because he couldn't deliver this. He wanted to give him an intractable question is what he wanted to do. And the simple answer that Jordan Peterson should have said is like, well, yeah, I would lie. Oh, now you committed a sin. Okay. And We all do. I'm probably committing 10 sins right now just by talking to you guys. Somebody could make that up. Somebody could tell you you're sinning just like, oh, you're not reading the Bible right now. I guess you're spending your time. What are you podcasting? What are you talking about? Girls? Come on, sinners. What is it? What's the song? Rather laugh with the sinners and cry with the saints. Yeah. Now what, Rory? JP teaches one thing: don't develop schizophrenia. That is true. That is true. Teaches us one thing: the dangers of benzodiazepine. But is Jordan done? No, this is not going to ruin his career. He doesn't care. He's like, do you think being worth as much as he is? Do you think that he cares about this? I don't think so. It's all ego at this point. That's all it is. He doesn't have to do this. I don't know. Can somebody look this up? Like maybe on Perplexity or something. Is there like is there a co-op? Is there like some sort of co-branding between Jubilee and Daily Wire? I'd be curious to know. Like Jubilee also does those lame ass shows about like they get like 5 guys who are masculine, 5 guys who are masculine confused, they're trans or whatever the hell it is. They had Justin Waller on for one of those, but they don't. You notice they don't ask me on the show. They don't ask Myron Gaines on the show. You know, when you got Joe Rogan petitioning, like this is or his PR people petitioning their followers on Facebook or well, probably Facebook too, on Twitter. Hey, who should we have on the show that we haven't had on the show yet? And people are saying, Rollo Tomasi, Myron Gaines, blah, blah, blah. Right. We're never going to get. Thank you. I appreciate the enthusiasm. Absolutely. Please keep going with it. I'm sure we can make some inroads at some point. Right. But the fact of the matter is like, they're never going to have us on there because we're going to ask questions that they're not going to want to answer. And they're not going to, if Joe Rogan, here's a hypothetical for you. If Joe Rogan had myself and Myron Gaines on the show, it would probably be one of the biggest fucking shows they've ever had. It was huge. But like, remember, it would boost their signal. It would, like, if we went on there, we would tear it up with Joe Rogan and everything. That would be a show of the freaking year for them. But and I have a feeling they know that, but yet they still don't do it. Why? Why are they so fearful? Because I can only attribute it to fear. Like, if you can tell me why else they wouldn't. I mean, maybe they're worried that they would lose their female audience, which for Joe Rogan, I don't think is all that big anyways. But why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't we get a call? Why wouldn't me and Myron get a call from Jubilee? After all this, Justin Waller gets a call, but we don't. For a masculinity thing. What is it? Destiny goes on with Chris Williamson 3 fucking times to explain the red pill and the manosphere and the state of masculinity. We don't get a call at all. In about 5 years? Because I know that's at least that. It's been at least since 2020. In almost 5 years. Why? Because they're fearful. What if you've got another explanation? I'm all ears. That's the only thing I can come back to, is they're fearful of what we might say. They're fearful that we would, well, maybe. Okay, let's just say for sake of argument, I could convince Myron to like lay back on the Jewish stuff for a little while and we just talk about red pill shit. Even still, they won't have us on. Even Brian from whatever podcast would not have both myself and Myron Gaines on the show at the same time. Why not? It's funny to me that like whatever podcast is still going strong. Well, more or less still going strong. And the only people who are kind of struggling is myself, even Pearl. No sympathy, but like even Pearl, Fresh and Fit. I don't know about No Fugazi. I'm trying to think of like anybody else, but whatever podcast, I don't know what they got going on, but there's no hate. Like they pop off with the same shit that I do. They pop off with the same shit that even in some cases, even a little bit worse than Myron and Fresh. I mean, Myron Fresh never had, Gorlock the Destroyer or whatever her name is. They didn't go like Fresh and Chris Pogson. They didn't go hunting for like freaks. I mean, if they showed up, right? But like the only thing I can think of that's comparable is like Demon Girl with that and a forked tongue, and she was actually pretty hot. You like remove the tattoos and all the accessories. Have you been keeping track of Democrats' last effort to connect with male voters? Yes, that's why I put that video of Drew Afawalo on there. I think they will invite these. I had that video actually all lined up, but I was more interested in Drew Afawalo. Okay, in fact, you know what? Let's review, children. Yes, I'm very familiar with the. Where did it go? Here we go. Okay. I'm very familiar with the DNC they got this big like ham beast that is going to be the outreach for the DNC to get men back into the fold. And I got some things to say about that. But the thing is ironically, that whole video and that whole announcement arrived at the same time this video did.
Fact that men are evil. That is true. Like man as a whole is evil. Like just as an entity, a general idea.
Okay. Do you think that the DNC is going to in any way like say, hey, turn that shit down, Drew?
Men have inflicted violence and oppression on the world in ways that are irreparable. Like it's okay if we say that out loud. It's okay if we say that men are inherently evil.
Okay. So that's all I got to say for her. And the DNC wants us to come back, the men to come back. You're evil, but we really need you back because we need your vote. Get the fuck off. What? And you're going to have this hamby like what? See, here's the thing is like they want masculinity in a box. They want it when it's useful. They want it when the floodwaters rise, and we need people we need men to save women from the rising waters, right? We need men to run into the burning house to go and save the baby, right? But men are inherently evil, so like let's put some controls on them. That's why I put that Dennis Prager video right after that, right? So we're inherently evil, but men need to be controlled, but we don't tell women about any kind of self-control. Because if we did, we would be called misogynists. If we did, we would be called chauvinists, fascists, evil, macho, patriarchal fuckwits. That's what we would call. And for Drew Afawalo, it's okay to say that men are evil. She literally blurts it out loud. And you, DNC, want men to come back to the fold. Really? Really? Do any of them lift? Yes, I saw that. I saw the conversation. Hey, we're gonna get people. But here's the other part that rubbed me the wrong way. I'm glad you brought this up because I had forgot about it in my notes. So you have the DNC via like PACs, political action committees, like Progressive Victory. We know for a fact now that the DNC funneled money through Progressive Victory, which was a PAC that Destiny was part of, that Not So Erudite was part of, that Pixie was part of, that what's her name, Jasmine Jafar, Mia Khalifa, whatever her name is, Farah was in on it too, and you got all these Twitch kids, and there's other guys too, by the way, and they're all connected to Destiny in some way, shape, or form, right? And they're all on the payroll, and that's why I keep saying, Brian, from whatever podcast, anytime you platform them, you are platforming political operatives whose words were bought by the DNC. Congratulations, whatever podcast, you are the mouthpiece for Progressive Victory. And their goal was to shit all over the red pill. Their goal was to take down personalities, myself included, in the manosphere, in the red pill space. They started with MLD on, was it Saucecast? Then they went and they got Donovan Sharp, and Donovan will never talk to Adam Sosnick ever again because he feels like he was set up, and he probably was. You know, you had Angela Knight was on there. She's another one that was on the payroll. Then you got Jasmine Jafar. Then you got Farah. Then you got Pixie. If you're putting them on your show, you are implicit. You are you are essentially giving them the microphone, your microphone. And we know for a fact that they had to sign NDAs, especially if they wanted to keep their Twitch channel. Because if you are a political channel, then they don't want you can't be monetized or whatever on Twitch. They had to say that they weren't actually political operatives. They had to say that they were entertainers or some shit like that. They had to sign those contracts. They had to sign NDAs. So they couldn't legally say, yes, I am being paid by the DNC. I am being paid by Progressive Victory. And they were. Every last one of them. Because if they did, they would lose their, like, not only would they lose their Twitch channel, anything associated with Progressive Victory would have been flushed down the toilet. So they had to sign those, and they were forbidden to speak about things. In fact, even at the end, I remember in our studios, it was in what was that, Sticky Paws. Mike was interviewing Farah and Jasmine Jafar, and he asked them the questions. Thank you, Mike. Asked them the questions that I gave him. I said, "Are you being paid by the DNC? Are you being paid by? Is that why you have to plead the fifth?" And they're like, "No comment," right? But Jasmine Jafar later on says, "Yeah, we were getting paid, and so did Farah." And so it turns out all those people associate, all the girls who were literally sucking on Destiny's dick, those women were political operatives, and you're still giving them a voice. You're still giving them a platform. People should put an asterisk by whatever podcast. It's not believable, because anything that comes out of their mouth is, in my estimate, horseshit. Because it can be bought. Well, what if they really agree with it? I don't care. It means it means your influence and your followers' trust in you is compromised, no matter what. I'm not paid for. I don't get much. Fuck, you know how much I struggle. Ain't nobody got time for that. Hey, thank you, James. You get one of these. In honor of PP. Oh, do I have PP? Where's PP? PP? PP. There you go. I'm amused that Matt is PP still alive? Somebody told me he died. I'm amused with Matt Walsh's slow conversion to the dark side. I am too. I think he's beginning to believe. I need to go watch The Matrix again. He's beginning to believe he can make the jump. Everybody falls their first time. He's this close, man. Like, Matt, I will, if you're watching, Matt, people are watching, I will give you a free book. I will give you the first book for free. I'll give you all 5 of them for free. I'll sign them, put them together in a box, and give them to you. Read the book. At least read the first book, Matt, please. It will open your eyes to so many things. I hate when I get all dreamy and fucked up like that, but honestly, at this stage, I think I can say, it has saved people's lives, and people are better off for it, for reading my work. Don't talk to Rolo. He'll ruin your life. You won't get married. He's not married. What? The funnest thing for me right now is to see these idiots who know nothing about the red pill go, these guys are all damaged. They have mommy issues. If you follow the red pill, you will never get married, and you will never have a healthy life, and you'll never have a relationship, and you'll never have children, and blah, blah, blah. You'll never, right? And yet the guy who wrote The Rational Male, the Bible of the Manosphere, the Bible of the red pill, dare I say, been coming up on July 20th, I will have been married for 29 years. My daughter's 27. She's been married for 2 years. Please stop doxing her. Carl Bennington, you piece of fucking shit. In fact, you know what? I'm going to do that right now. Hang on one second. All right. This guy, Carl Bennington, has been doxing, has been cyber stalking my daughter This is what he wrote. I'm going to EDC, but I don't do ecstasy. So I'm worried that another girl is going to slip me a pill with like he just comes like, this is the dude. Like this guy is fucking psycho. This is what I have to deal with. My daughter sends me this screenshot, right? And by the way, he's also been like following some of the girls that I follow on Access Vegas who've been on the show. He pretends to know me. Ladies, if you ever get any communication from this guy, Carl Bennington, block him immediately. That is not me. I have no association with this. The guy is sick in the fucking head. Okay. Thank you. Yes. Sickening is right. Stop stalking my daughter, you fucking spurred autistic fuck. Like I won't have anything. I blocked him on a million different things. Right. This is the kind of shit I got to deal with. My daughter has to deal with. He'll probably find a way to like find my wife's fucking, inbox or some shit like that. Stop it. Get help. Yeah. Oh, does he? Carl Bennington follows Destiny. Well, that makes sense. See, this is the kind of sick, perverted shit that you get from Destiny. Like, I remember watching, I forget which one. It was like, I think it was back in 2023. Like, literally part of his show, I can remember, like, somebody sent me this clip and they said that, like, he was saying, well, I can't find any dirt on this guy. Yeah, because I'm Raul Tomasi. There ain't no fucking dirt on me. There's no, I don't have a sex scandal. No little underage girl was sucking my cock, right? Yeah, I don't have an open marriage. I don't have gay sex. I don't know. I am who I am. I am what I am. Right? Okay. We've got to create dirt. That's basically what he said. We got to create something on this guy. So that's what they try to do. Remember how I was a secret racist back in 2024? Oh, he's got an alt account. And he's really a white supremacist and he wears a white hood and he goes to cross burnings in Mississippi or some shit like that. Like, shut up. Stop it. You're fucking. And you know who else facilitated that? Not So Erudite. So again, Brian, every time you have her on your show, you are facilitating this dumb bitch who tried to find some way to manufacture some horseshit narrative about me being some secret racist with an alternative account on Twitter. Fuck you and fuck her. You have her on your show. You are basically endorsing that shit. As far as I'm concerned, you know better. You know better not to have these people on there. And by the way, and I love me some Andrew Wilson, and I know why you want to debate Destiny, but are the clicks worth it? I don't think so. The dude is an admitted sex offender. Thank you very much. It's there. It's on the fucking books. The allegations are there. The lawsuit is there. The guy is guilty of revenge porn, which is a sex offense. He is a sex offender. Not So Erudite facilitated hush money between Destiny and Pixie. She is complicit. She is an accomplice to that fucking crime. She is a criminal. So is he. You're having criminals on your show that you know are fucking criminals. What else do I have to say? Well, how many different ways can I convince you? Like, let these fuckwits fade into obscurity, please. I'm begging you. There's better people out. Have me on the show. You'll have a fucking killer show. Just you and me. But just talk. I guarantee you it'll be a better show than if you had these idiots on there. Guarantee it. Put me in Wilson. Put me in Andrew Wilson on the show. You'll have a killer show. But no, let's just put Not So Erudite on for the 12th fucking time. What the fuck are you doing? You want to keep your show alive? Just saying. Oh, geez. Let's see. I got to Rational Redneck. Oh, there we go. Oh shit. Sorry about that. JP should be covered with all of the names of people making money off of him. Yeah, like he should be wearing like the brand, like the Rational. He should be wearing like the NASCAR drivers and shit. That's true. Very true. Okay, I got the PP. Thank you. Speaking of the DNC, don't forget that Johnny Rockets dude on MSNBC after the election saying, how can we get these young men in a feminist direction? Yeah. They're all in on it. What was that? Not Gretchen Carlson. Who's the other chick? Remember? Oh, they say it's the manosphere. I guess we're all in the manosphere now. Dana Bash. That's who it was. Dana Bash. They know us. They know you bloody well know my fucking name.
Say my name.
I hate shingles. Anybody ever had shingles? God damn it. Yeah, Andrew loves the clout. So does everybody else. Andrew's in a different phase. He's in the honeymoon phase right now. I think like Mike, when I first started working with Mike kind of got into a honeymoon phase as well, which is fine. It's what I expect. I'm glad because it kind of like rubs off on me. I'm like, I'm in the pragmatic, cynical phase right now. Excuse me. I think Mike is in the post honeymoon phase right now, but Andrew Wilson, most definitely. Well, I don't think Andrew's a cuck, like not in the traditional sense. I mean, definitive sense, yes, but not. I mean, he doesn't have that at it. He's not going to sit there in the cuck chair and watch some other dude fuck his wife if that's what you think a cuck is. That he's not. Yeah. Well, from your lips to God's ears. I have a professional respect for Andrew Wilson. I don't, he is what he is. He did what he did. Yeah. Yeah, kind of. Like I said, like what's the church that's going to do the arbitration for all of this shit? Okay. So we've kind of beaten up Jordan Peterson for a little while. Let's beat up somebody else here. Oh boy. God. I love this chick. I absolutely love her so much. She's my favorite bitch.
It's a major problem. And Speaker Johnson has been talking about those maybe deadbeat folks that are on Medicaid, and maybe some of those folks are the stay-at-home sons. We don't know.
Those deadbeats.
But I'll tell you this, leave it to Gen Z to rebrand laziness and social awkwardness as something cutesy, like a stay-at-home son. They did much the same thing with quiet quitting, where you can go to work and do less. And if you call it quiet quitting, it's somehow better.
Notice how her eyes don't move. She's not freestyling here. She's reading from a script.
But Laura, I got to tell you, this is also a big problem when it comes to, I think, declining birth rates, people not getting married and having children. That's a big problem. They blame it on women. Well, look at what young women have to choose from. The pickings are slim. Yes, we might have a feminism problem in America, but it's the feminization of men. There are a lot of young women out there that want to get married. They want to have kids. They want to have stable families. But there are a lot of young men out there who want to live in mama's basement and order DoorDash. And therein lies a big part of the problem.
Well, we don't really talk about what the real problem is, and the real problem is that women aren't worth it. Once again, like I think you say what you want about Andrew Wilson. She's still stinging from that Pierce Morgan thing. This right here, this is her catharsis from when Andrew Wilson said, "Well, what do guys get out of it? What's the payoff?" Right. And Turd Flinging Monkey and I have been talking about this, and TFM's been talking about this way longer than I have. So credit, hat tip, credit where it's due. What's the payoff? What's the upside? Duty. So the thing that gets me is, and I think probably Tomi Lahren would probably like crumble. She would melt under this question. But the thing is like, you're talking about something that's reciprocal, right? So she's talking about, for men, they have to get off their ass, get out of mommy's basement, right? Like how many guys live in their mom's basement? Like population wise, like go outside, touch cement, touch grass, whatever. Look around you. Like I think most guys are either, maybe they're unemployed, but they're underemployed for sure. They're just doing they're subsistence farmers, right? They're doing whatever it takes to get by. These guys are just doing whatever it takes to pay the rent. Like, they still got to pay the rent. They still got to pay the internet bill. They still got to pay their phone bill. They got a car. Still got to pay insurance. In fact, a lot of people were arguing, and I would agree this is definitely a factor, but it's money. It's jobs. It's like, like, do you guys remember? Because I sure as fuck do. Do you remember when she had her meltdown in 2020? It was August of 2020. I did a full I think 2 or 3 hours dedicated to her Instagram meltdown. And these older guys are only interested in Tatiana's, right? They're the guys she wanted to marry, the guys she wanted to start a family with, the guys that were worth her fucking while weren't interested in her. That was the whole shtick. And when you go and you look, I really should, I have never done this, but I am really tempted to do this. Do a breakdown video of one of my videos. Do a breakdown video of the video response I did to Tomi Lahren's meltdown video in 2020. That was actually the first time I got the call from Dr. Phil. They wanted to put me on with, it was going to be me, Dr. Warren Farrell, which made it really kind of a sweet deal. Tomi Lahren, and then they said some other feminist professor or something like that. They were going to put a feminist professor on Tomi Lahren's side on Dr. Phil. It was more than a man could take. But I should put that on a shirt. The rational male, more than a man could take. No, it's like unbelievable how oblivious she is to her own bullshit. And this is just 5 years ago. Now she's married to the baseball player, right? Whatever his name. How you deal with that, I don't know. But you've got this chick. I also want to point out some statistics here. Like, when guys don't go to school or do not enroll in college at an equitable rate as women. Now, primarily, that's because, well, most guys aren't interested. Maybe guys don't want to go to college. Maybe they see their path to life success as starting their own business or doing funnel marketing, God knows what else. There's a lot of, like, if I was a say 20, 22-year-old guy, if I was to give that guy some advice and he didn't want to go to college, I'd say, like, you have to start your own business. Then you've got to find some way you got to find a hustle. If you're not going to college, find a hustle. Maybe it's a trade school. Maybe it's the military. Maybe you want to get into, I don't know, you want to be a fireman or some shit like that. Maybe you want to be a lineman. I don't know. But you've got to find a side hustle. And I would say, if you can find a side hustle where you can, sell stuff to very rich people, then that would probably be my preference. You got to be innovative. You got to be an ideas guy. If you're not an ideas guy, go to college. But that's like, I think that education is important. I disagree with people who want to say, like, oh yeah, those colleges are just feminization, indoctrination camps, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, they are, but education is its own reward. Oh, there's Samba. Thank you, for Christ's sake, Sam. There, now I got you. I swear, Sam, do you have a new phone? Because this is a new thread. It's weird. Anyways, getting back to Tomi Lahren. Tomi Lahren is the last person on planet Earth who should be talking about this shit. Because just in 2020, she was so upset that she couldn't find a guy who was like worth her while. So what is it, Tomi? I love how it's always like men's response, masculine responsibility to do this. To do what? To lay down as a martyr? To deal with your bullshit? Like, more and more guys are saying it's not worth it. Guys are like the juice ain't worth the squeeze. I hate to use that as a line because I know that's the MGTOW thing, but that's the attitude. And the attitude for women is well, where are the good guys? Where are the guys at? How come they're not living up to our expectations? Because the juice ain't worth the squeeze, man. Like, what's in it for them? And that's the whole thing, is like, she still can't answer that question. Like, that's what Andrew Wilson asked her. Okay, well, what do guys get in return? This fucking pussy. Right. So you've just basically reduced yourself down to your only agency, which is your sexuality. How about I get a woman who has insight? How about I get a woman who has, you know, is much more feminine. She's soft. She's kind. She's nurturing. Would be a good mother. She's hot in bed. Yes. She's enthusiastic in sex. Yes. She's a gym rat. She keeps herself in shape to have better sex with you, because that's important. For sex is the glue that holds a relationship together. Ladies, if you can't get that through your head, you got no business talking about how guys are low quality or whatever. If you don't understand how important sex is, not just to men, but also to women, I can't help you. Don't say it's some social thing or men have been socialized to want these kind of girls. No, they haven't. That is how we are naturally. That is innate. That is evolved. Oh, they want these Tatianas, these girls that are just like so young and everything. So all the guys were like, it was funny. It's classic. I remember this because this is why I did the video. You know, she's looking for a guy who's like somewhere between like 30 and 35, because she was 28 at the time. In fact, it was on her birthday. She had just turned 28, or it was the day before her birthday. And she was just panicking because she was in the epiphany phase. She knows she can't compete with her younger self, and her younger self is manifested in the Tatianas. That's what she said in the video. Right. Her words, not mine. I don't make this shit up. I just report the news. I just work here, man. Yep. She's too old. She is too old. The milk done spoiled. Yeah. The ice cream's been licked many times. Oh shit. You guys are funny as fuck today. Anyways, so she's, you know, I also want to point this out. I wonder if I can still find this. I probably still have this somewhere. I meant to dig this up. I apologize for not digging it up earlier. But I sent this to Aaron Clary. There is let's see if I can find it. There is a graph of which sex pays back their student loans most regularly. Which one do you think it is, guys? There we go. Data images. Let's see if I can find it. I found it. Got it. Okay, here, let me grab this and put it as an overlay. Hang on. This is going to be good. Please stand by. This is too good not to put on to put on the show. This is from 2023. Okay, I believe this is Forbes. There you go. To 2009 through 2023. There we go. The original amount. There you go. Women don't pay off shit. Men pay off all of their student loans. What do you got to say to that, baby? What do you got to say? Oh, those lazy deadbeat sons of bitches, they're not going to school. Well, at least they're paying their debts back, which is more than I can say for women. You want to know why that's that's the carrot at the end of the stick for what is it? Paying back a student loan easement or whatever it is Biden wanted to throw out there. It was basically a stimmy check for women, because women hold the most student debt of any sex. Women hold I think it's is it 2 trillion? Something like that. And then women hold something like 70 some odd billion. I have those stats too. I have those numbers as well. But yeah. Oh, we're going to school. We're better than you men. Okay. And what's in it for the guy? You know, here's the thing that gets me. Especially Tommy's kind of woke me up to this. Women like Tomi Lahren want that traditional conservative, traditional sort of Judeo. I know you're not supposed to use Judeo, but Judeo-Christian template for life, right? Men have a masculine duty to give women a better life. That's why when I tweet out, men, gentlemen, you do not owe women a better life, I put that on there women lose their fucking minds. And guys who are like sort of like allies, sympathizers, Vici males, those guys, they'll find, well, what about your mom? You don't know her a better life either. It doesn't mean you can't give her one, but it's not incumbent upon you to do so. What about your sister? What about your daughter? Nope, doesn't apply to them either. But if you want to, if you feel you have masculine duties to do so, but you don't, I don't have to support my mother-in-law, which I do. And I'm happy to do it because I love her. I retired my wife 5 years ago from her. She's retired early because of me. So you know what, baby, you don't have to work anymore. We'll find some, like she was only working for medical insurance anyways, right? Like the kind of money she was making was like not even close to what I make. And that's not a flex. I'm just saying, like, we live comfortably, but we're not like Jay Waller comfortable. But I do it because I want to. I do it because it's not because I feel like I owe them anything. It's because I love them and I'm happy to do it because I think it's worthwhile. Remember what I talk about when I talk about, enlightened self-interest, right? I can't help others until I can help myself. And I can't help others as well as when I help myself first. So it's me first. And then I decide who's worthwhile. Well, my mother-in-law is worthwhile. Ned, definitely worthwhile. Ned can't pay me back, but I make sure that there's good food in his bowl because he's the goodest boy. Where's my dogs? Ned. Ned here? Where's Ned? Here he comes. Oh, here they come. I said Ned, not Anna. Come here, Anna. No? Oh, okay. Where's Ned? Ned. Here he comes. Oh, Anna. Come here, Anna. Oh, here he comes. Here he comes. Come here, Ned. Come here. Oh, boy. Wait. There's Ned. It's the Ned cam. It's the return of the Ned cam. Oh, mister. He's the goodest boy. He's the goodest boy. He loves his dad. He loves his dad. Say hi. Wait. Hi. Okay. All right. That's enough. You guys always like the Ned breaks, don't you? He's going to sleep in here now. You're going to go over there? Watch out. I got to reposition it. What? I don't get any super chats for that? Come on. That was some good shit. Oh, okay. So he's pop. Okay. I don't have I need to get a cam going down that way. Oh, that was pretty good. I love Ned. Ned's my boy. See, he's worthwhile. He's worthwhile. Yeah. You know how much I spent on Ned's medical bills? We don't want to talk about that. I broke even though, so that was good. I knew I would. So who's worthwhile? Is Tomi Lahren worthwhile? Thank you. Wait, you know what? You always get one of these for Ned's college fund. Throw in and you get it on to Marco. I guarantee you will get it on to Marco. Yeah. So anyways, yeah, as far as that's concerned, like with Tomi Lahren, it's an economic thing. It's also a social thing. She still can't answer the question that Andrew Wilson put to her. And she never will, because she still lives in this traditionalist fantasy world that men ought to just sacrifice themselves just for the sake of sacrifice. Like that's what you do, right? Uh-oh, here we go. Yep, you get another one. Oh, he definitely understands the word treats. He also understands the word bacon. Bacon, treat, chicken. He knows chicken. Trying to think of the other words he likes. Bunny, rabbits. We have, oh God, my God. So the place I live in is sort of a golf community. I'm just going to presume you want that to be for Ned. But we live in kind of a gated golf community, and there are rabbits every fucking where. Like there was a rabbit in the front lawn of the house next to us, and the dogs just they go berserk. I can't even believe how many rabbits there are out here. Yeah, bunny range. Yeah, that's what it is. There's this one. God, I can't believe I'm going to say this. There's this one when we take the dogs out in the morning. You have to take because it gets like we're going through a heat wave right now. Oh, Jesus. Okay, it was $2. Thank you. One for Ned. Ring it up. Ding, ding, ding. Ned, what kind of food does Ned eat? Ned eats the farmer's dog food, which is fucking good stuff. I will, if I could get an endorsement from the farmer's dog, I would do it in a heartbeat. Just send me free dog food. Bloody expensive. Send me free dog food. You know, I'll tell you something else. Here's another story. So Tiffany Fox has her dog Iggy, and Iggy was having some digestive like problems. Like I think he's like 7 or 8. I'm not sure how old the dog is. He's like this little black, but I love him to death. I buy him I buy stuff for her dog. I'll buy stuff. Like he has a new bed courtesy of Uncle Rolo. But I told her, I said, go get this farmer's dog food. It'll be fine. She got it, and it's expensive, but it's worth it, man. And it cleared up everything. All of his digestive problems were gone. It's great. I love farmer's dog food. The farmer's dog food. Endorse. Con Dios. Yeah. What? Can we super defeat? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I was going to say that's actually probably a good way to put it. Modern women are over leveraged. Yeah, they've priced themselves out of the market. As I said before, I brought this up on a couple of occasions. Marriage today is only figuratively speaking, is only for elite men. If you went just by the narrative of Tomi Lahren and a few of these other girls who are like, well, why would I have my own money. I have my own education. I have all the blue pill, all the the beta buck side of hypergamy. I have that all set. I have my own money. I've built my own long-term security. I've frozen my eggs. I'm intelligent. I go to the gym, blah, blah, blah. I'm a high value woman. I'm an alpha female, right? Why would I settle for anything less? Well, if that's the case, then what you're saying is that marriage is only for elite men. You're not marriageable. You're not an eligible bachelor unless you can measure up and by a set of metrics and maintain it indefinitely and grow and become more indefinitely. And that's the mark of a very elite man. I'm not saying they don't exist. They do. But those guys aren't going to be interested in you. They're going to be interested in the hot chippy. It's what they're going to be interested in. That's exactly what Tomi Lahren was complaining about in her meltdown video in 2020. Oh, they just want these hot little, 26-year-old, 24-year-old girls. Yeah. Well, why? They're immature. No, they're very mature because they know what they want and they can get it. And you ain't it. That's the problem. Marriage is only for elite men. So the elite men, they have sexual selectivity like they've never had before. Whether they recognize it or not is another question. But yeah. So why? Yeah, the top 4.5%. Exactly. The top 4.5% that guys would go for, or top 4% that women would go for. They would they would initiate contact with. But I think we need to really kind of wrap our heads around the fact that this is like it's a social thing, right? It's a social narrative right now. It's a consequence of the global sexual marketplace. Once again, as I said before, like that one time when Fresh said that, like 30% of college girls are getting like flued out to Miami so they can go party with Drake on his yacht. Drake. They're not absolutely. That's certainly not 30%. I would beg to differ. If it's 1%, I would be shocked. 1%, a fraction of 1%. But that's not the problem. That's not the point. The point is that some girls did get flown out. And I look better than that bitch. So therefore, my standards as a woman now go up higher because the potential of me getting flown out, or the potential, because I'm hotter. I'm way hotter than, like, even objectively, I'm way hotter than that girl. So, but the men in their local sexual marketplace will never measure up to the expectations that they have in the global sexual marketplace. So when women see this, on their phones, on Twitter, on TikTok, on whatever the fuck it is that they're looking at, okay, bye, Ned. Ned's leaving. Thank you. I gotta give this big ups. Here we go. All you gotta do is put Ned in your super chat, and I'll give it to you. Help keeping Ned off the pole. Keep my baby off the pole. Keep it. What is it? Keep him from starting an OnlyFans. Also, how many kids has a great trad fam example Tomi had? Yeah. Where's your children, Tomi? Consulting Dean Wormer 0.0. Yes, she has no children. Is she contributing to the fertility crisis? By the way, Tomi, the fertility crisis has been we've been below replacement level since the mid 70s. So just like back off, baby. To go back to JP, yes, I know you're not into prescriptions, but was there any of this initial 12 rules for life you wholeheartedly disagree with? The problem I have is not so much the rules themselves. It's the fact that people need lists. It's a list. The book is just basically a listicle. And I wouldn't say teachings, but my approach, my approach is more analytical. I don't look at, like, say, a lot of people look at 48 Laws of Power and they think it's a step-by-step guide. Okay, I'm at law number 10, but once I get to law 47, then I'll be in better shape, right? It's a listicle, right? To some people. I don't see it that way, because there's some aspects of 48 Laws of Power that, in my opinion, are unethical, especially the ones where it's get others to do all the work and take all the credit. That's basically plagiarism. Is it a law of power? Absolutely. Would I use it? No. Does Dr. Orion Taraban use it? Oh, absolutely. And fucks me with it on a regular basis. And I'm going to show you why today, actually. We'll get to that. But as far as it's just like a lot of the stuff that he puts into the 12 rules for life, you can find in like the Tao Te Ching. It's basically rehashed, westernized Eastern philosophy is what it is. Go make your bed. That's wax on, wax off. That's all make your bed is. It's learning the muscle, muscle memory, right? Which is basically a practice principle. Well, at least you'll feel like you did something. Like that's very Zen. Like if you've read anything like the Tao Te Ching, if you've read what's the other one? The Wisdom of Confucius. I'm of the opinion that if I produce a book, but if I produced a series of tweets, and all I did was take quotes from the Tao Te Ching or Confucius, the Wisdom of Confucius, right? If I go and I take quotes from that and I just kind of rejigger them a little bit so they sound like a white person said it instead of somebody of Asian descent, I will bet you people will think you're the most wise motherfucker in the world, and you're just basically, rehashing old wisdoms. I could go and grab quotes from St. Thomas Aquinas, right? Or Marcus Aurelius, and just kind of like get AI. say this as a westernized white person of 50 years old would say this, and then it'll give you like some options. Then you put it out there as a tweet, and people think you're like profound. That's all Peterson does. He rehashes like old shit. Puts it in a different like candy bar wrapper, and then he gives you the candy bar. That's basically what it boils down to. Woo. Okay. Well, let's get some of these. Tomi equally condescending as the DNC as Gorlock. DNC Gorlock. Yeah. She's you're right. She's an operative like anybody else. She's just like insufferable. We got to you. Thank you for your kind donations. Treats. Thank you. Got to those. Got to that one. Got to Ned. Got to James. There we go. Pat Smith. When does society rebalance fix intersexual dynamics? It doesn't. Following the disruption of agriculture, industrialization, the pill, no-fault divorce, social media, and dating apps. Enjoy the decline. That's a dismissal, by the way. I don't want to be dismissive. We don't go backwards. There is no pendulum. When's the pendulum going to swing back to the good old days when women knew what to do? Never. We can only go forward. You can learn the lessons from the past, and I hope you do. But we only go forward. There's no pendulum. There's no way to go back. You can't. Well, this great quote from Dune, from the book Dune, Frank Herbert. You can't back your way into the future. So no, there is no rebalancing. There is no fixing it. There's only advancing it. There's only finding contingencies as we move forward. Forward, forward, forward. No steps back. Please, for Christ's sake, there is no pendulum. You're not going to go back to some golden era that's romanticized that it was never what you thought it was in the first place. That's not to, I'm not being a dick. I'm just saying, like, there's too many people. I mean, I love how, like, the leftists and liberals claim to be progressives. They're not. Like, we always talk about, what are conservatives conserving? What are progressives progressing? Nothing. Although we should have some kind of definition of what is conservatism and what is progressivism, because I think both of those are pretty valuable if they're right in the right context. If we're going forward, at least let's be progressive about it. Let's be better than what we were before. If we're going to conserve something, tell me what we're conserving. Tell me what's valuable enough to hang on to. Nobody can answer that question. And by the way, nobody can answer the question of, like, what's a positive aspect of progressivism? Nobody. I don't think it's just us versus them. It's just like you got your team T-shirt and your fucking your pennant banner, whatever the fuck it is. It's a team sport. That's why Jubilee is what it is. It's a blood sport. Us versus them. Yeah, it's a debate. Who's the asshole? You're the asshole. Ha ha ha. We win. My team wins. It's team sports, man. It's bread and circuses. And people want to give you shit all over football. Like, oh, it's just guys running around in jerseys and jerking each other off. Blah, blah, blah. You're doing the same thing in Jubilee. You're doing the same thing on whatever podcast. Us versus them. It's just team sports. Fuck on whatever. It's crazy. It's like the fucking gladiators, man. It's a blood sport, for crying out loud. See it for what it is. What is progressivism? What is conservative? What's worth conserving? What's worth progressing? Please, anyone, Bueller, hello? Tommy's body count, plus or minus 20. 20. She's in the 20s. I would say she's probably mid 20s. She probably has 25 body count. Somebody told me she was a real slut back in the day. Someone personal who has actually. Yeah, but I don't think it's like astronomically high, but I think it's probably in the 20s, 20 range. Minus 20, hit 1, plus 20, hit 2, go. All right. What do you think it is, chat? Do you think it's minus 20 or do you think it's plus 20? Or you could just put a number. I don't care. Do we really want to play these games? I'm trying to be serious here. I'm trying to, like, talk about progressivism. What do you think your body count is? And you guys are going to play this game too. Yeah, watch. You're going to start. There it is. You're already started. Disappointed children. It's over 9,000. I don't have that. Somebody send that one to me. Wrong. Oh.
Emotional damage.
Okay. Well, okay. So I have to do this. I don't want to do this, but I have to do this. Sadia Khan has no degree. Just no degree. She's in no way should she be like talking about what she's talking about. She is not a clinical psychologist. She has no degree from anywhere. Certainly not in psychology. She should not be practicing. Does she have her? She does not have her own practice. I know that. She does online stuff. And I've got somebody sent this to me. Now she's just a segue into Dr. Taraban, but I'm just going to throw this one up here. You guys can read this. I'll read it to you out loud. Hang on. It's kind of a rough one to look at. Somebody sent me this. Anyways, if you want to lose weight, would you ever take advice from an obese person? So if you want to get married, why would you take advice from a person who is not married? If you want to walk a path, take wisdom from a person who has walked that same path. Sadia Khan is not a psychologist. By the way, you can find dozens of Reddit threads about how she's basically changed up her website, where she used to have her diplomas up or her credentials of some sorts. But turns out that they're forgeries, and she ended up pulling them off because she got outed. She does not like to be outed, and I'm going to out her right now. Sadia Khan is not a psychologist. Neither, I'm reading the thing. I think I must get it out of the way. Neither is she a psychotherapist. Neither is she qualified nor licensed to give therapy. She has never been licensed with a psychology regulating body in the UK and is not registered in Dubai. In Dubai, therapy is a protected practice that requires registration and license. Therefore, she is breaking the law and committing fraud. This is in Dubai anyways. She has a bachelor's degree in psychology of education and QTS certification in teaching and psychology. Her master's in psychology is fraudulent. That's the one that she had up and that she pulled down. The date on the certificate does not align with the tenure, and the dean who died prior to the certificate being issued. This is because her master's never happened and it is a fake. I work in healthcare, so let me clarify. To qualify as a psychologist and to refer to oneself as a psychologist, a bachelor's in psychology and a master's in psychology in the education system, which is to say what Sadia has. After the master's, to qualify as a psychologist who can conduct therapy, 8 to 10 years of supervised specialist exams and training is mandatory before a license to practice therapy will be issued. To qualify as a psychotherapist, a bachelor's in psychology is required, then a master's in psychotherapy, which is extremely arduous and involves over 200 hours in clinical practice within 2 years of study. I came across an extremely disturbing reel a few days ago in which Sadia Khan Psychology was stating that mothers are to blame for their sexual abuse of children. This is inaccurate. The abusers are to blame. There are a lot of influencers out there who are deeply troubled and are operating through the lens of their own unhealed psychology, and they are misguiding people. Are you okay with that? No, I'm not, which is why I'm reading this word for word for you. I also know that kind of a friend of mine, Dr. Taylor Burrows, has been going at pretty hard after Sadia Khan. Sadia Khan should not be taken seriously in any respect. She's just a pair of tits, okay? She's just a pretty face. Well, I agree with what she says. You can agree with what she says okay, fine. I've had people like come back and say, well, what is she saying that's wrong? Well, I can tell you what she's saying that's wrong, but it's not going to make any difference because anything I say is going to seem like an attack against her because you're already invested in her. Okay. Sadia Khan is a fraud. She has no degree. She has no master's for damn sure. She cannot practice. And so therefore all you're going to see is her like charging you $500, $1,000, whatever it is per hour for her to listen to your bullshit. And then for her to give you her bullshit. Okay. She's not in any way licensed to do anything that she's not a clinical psychologist. At least Jordan Peterson has a degree in clinical psychology. He put in the work. I got to give him that. Okay. Dr. Orion Taraban, on the other hand, is technically a psychologist in the state of California. And he has a C psych degree of some sorts from a diploma mill, a known diploma mill, and essentially roots through my work, rewords it, and then does videos of it. How do I know? Well, let's go through them and I will show you. Here we go. Let's see. Oh, here it is. This is his Frame ripoff.
Who use Frame to create an experience for them to enter into. They do not chase down men who don't or won't do this.
Okay. I have to point out that I did a series on my sub. I have to look him up. I'm doubtless that he follows me on Substack, because this video came out literally the same day. 2 days later, after I had uploaded my series on Frame, which features very heavily in my book, by the way. This is why I don't trust Pearl. This is why I have to be careful about what I say and what my plan. Hey, Rolla, when's the book coming out? I don't know. I know, but I'm not going to say. So I have to so I can deal with parasites and plagiarists like this.
This is important to keep in mind throughout the duration of the relationship, as men will be tempted to surrender Frame in a variety of ways over time.
Okay, literally almost verbatim what I said in the article.
This temptation occurs in two primary ways. Sometimes it's the temptation to escape an uncomfortable emotional situation created by the woman in a bid for more power and control. As I discussed in the Easter egg hunt, these bids
are what I call a frame grab.
Typically follow the PSA system of emotional manipulation, or pity, shame, anger, PSA. No matter the particular thumbscrew, the woman applies emotional pressure on the man, who then...
Thumbscrew, also a word I use quite often, same vernacular.
And seeds frame.
Seeds frame. Who uses that fucking term? Who? Tell me who know. Do you know what seeds means? He seeds frame. He hands it over. That's really what seeds mean. But who uses that in everyday language? No one. No, half of people don't even know what seeds mean. Hell, I couldn't even get superfluous past fucking Dr. Phil. You think he knows what seeds mean? But he's reading verbatim from my frame series that is on Substack. I use the term seeds
as a way of buying his way out of a difficult dynamic. As I discussed in the book, in its extreme manifestation, this takes the form of an attempted hijacking, in which
a frame grab instead of hijacking.
The woman threatens to leave or divorce.
Threat point. Thank you.
If her demands are not met.
Okay, that's number one. Crazy ripoff of my frame series. Okay, people go, well, maybe he just said it because it was just a coincidence or something. No, okay, here we go. I'm going to prove to you why this isn't a coincidence. What's the next one? Let's see. Oh, this is a great one.
Truth about good relationships. We all kind of know this truth, but very few people say it out loud. But once we bring it out into the open, it does a great deal to explain why so few people have good relationships.
Land the fucking plane, Orion.
And why so many young people apparently don't seem to be interested in relationships at all these days. Here it is. The truth about good relationships is that good relationships are boring. They're boring. They are not exciting. A good relationship does not have drama. It does not have conflict. It does not have passionate arguments or complex arrangements.
Bullshit. I can tell you from 20, well, actually, I've been with my wife 31 or 30 and a half years now. Okay. Because okay. Jesus Christ. There.
Say my name.
Thank you, James. Good relationships are based on polarity. They're based on maintaining your identity. And you're goddamn right. They're still I still passionately want to have sex with my wife. I still passionately, when we fight passionately. But we don't even fight that much, quite honestly. So in a way, maybe he's right. It's not boring. It's just less complexity, right? I know what my wife's going to say. I plan ahead for shit that she's going to say. 29 years. Now, how long has he even married? I tried looking it up. I tried looking to see, like, there's nothing out there. Like, even on Wikipedia, I couldn't find anything that said he'd been married or he'd been divorced or anything like that. Now, this motherfucker was the same guy who like waltzed in and into my studio, into Red One Studio, did a interview with Mike and Tristan, which I was okay with. And you know why I wasn't there? Because I was in Mount Charleston with my wife celebrating our 28th anniversary. No, yeah, 28th anniversary. Because I have a good fucking relationship and it's based on Red Pill principles. So they're not boring, dude. Shall I finish this?
Or high emotion. Good relationships are calm. They're consistent.
Sex is the glue that holds a relationship together, and there's always going to be inconsistencies in that.
They're reliable. They run smoothly. And the smoother they run, the less you even notice them. Like nothing attracts attention like a problem, which is a big part of why so many people create them in their relationships.
Okay. What have I said about good relationships? Anybody remember class? Anybody?
Hello there, children. How's it going?
Anybody remember? Good relationships are effortless because it's second nature. And that's where he's going. That's where he's picking this up. Good relationships are effortless. He's just taking it to the next degree, right? He's just taking it to the next. He's taking it to the next absurdity, right? So, but that's not all, children. Let's see. Oh, this is a good one. How about this one?
Sacrifice in the service of women, an ideal that is ingrained in the romantic imagination, is not just a duty.
You like that? Romantic imagination. Sounds like romantic ideal. Where's he picking this up from? Oh, I'll show you.
For the men, it's a source of pride. And the more they sacrifice, the more they feel entitled to feel proud of themselves. And I would argue that this is because these men suffer from a kind of Stockholm syndrome. They have not been able to escape this captive ideology, so they have imbued it with positive, even holy, i.e. divine wind attributes. Not only that, but for every man who believes that his self-sacrifice in the service of women is a source of pride, there is another man who is currently despairing because he has no woman to whom to offer his life as sacrifice. That's how deep this programming is. There are men right now, who are depressed, hopeless, and self-loathing because they do not yet have a beneficiary for his impulse to self-sacrifice. They are soldiers in want of a war.
Do I need to continue? I will. Everything he said directly pulled from religion. Let me see if I can even pull it out here. The sacrificial male. Dedicated to Dalrock. Dalrock spinning in his grave, although he's not dead. Oh, look. What is this? Oh, look. The romantic ideal. Oh. Chivalry, sacrifice, feminism, hail to the V. Oh my goodness. I even found the whole fucking chapter where he pulled it from. This guy's a hack. I'm glad they call him Psych Hacks, right? Because the apt name, right? Let's see. What else do we have here? Shall I keep going? Let's see. Is this a good one? No. Oh, this is a great one.
Gone are the days of complementarity in which men and women functionally moved in separate orbits. The modern woman is in her masculine, and she has chosen, or has been forced, or has been incentivized, depending on your perspective, to enter into historically male social domains.
Okay. Where should we go here? Hold on a second. How many people do you know that use the term complementarity? Oops, wait a minute. I spelled it wrong. There we go. goodness. What do we have here? What do we have here? Oh, would you like to read about it, or should I just show it to you on the screen? You know what? I'm just going to show it to you on the screen. Share my screen. Thank you very much. Chrome, you have my permission to show this. Oh, shit, I have to quit and reopen. It's okay, I'll do it later. I can't quit the stream right now. Hang on. Stupid Chrome. Can I do it? I think I can. Oh my goodness. What is this? Why, someone else has used the term complementarity. Who else knows what the term complementarity is about? Look, here's an entire article talking about what blog is this from? When was this? Oh my goodness. It looks like the Rational Mail talked about this back in when? October 30th, 2015 by Rollo Tomasi. What a fucking coincidence. So people will be talking about complementarity. Who uses that term? Like seeds, right? Who uses the term complementarity? Sounds pretty sus to me. Well, by all means,
and carve out a space there. They want money and power and status and recognition. And to get those things, they have to beat out the men who also want those things. The issue is that, just like on Survivor, the alpha males are extremely difficult to beat in direct competition. Like even the other men couldn't beat them. So,
I wonder if we should read that complementarity blog and find out exactly if that's the case.
These men have to be removed from the game if women have a chance of occupying the highest positions of power and authority. And the play for the last several decades has been to make all the traits and attributes associated with these alpha men morally reprehensible.
Got it? Toxic masculinity. Fine. Complementarity. There you go. Shall I go on? I've got more. I got about a dozen of these. This guy is a consummate plagiarist, consummate ripoff artist, which is why he wouldn't even mention my name to Mike and Tristan in my fucking studio. So anytime you see Taraban, put an asterisk by his name. Now, does he have a degree? Yes. He can practice psychology in the state of California. He's not, his degree is, or his certification is only as good as the Bay Area, which is where he lives. Does he have a private practice? Probably. I think he probably sees people more online than anything else, because it's not, and God bless him. I understand it's hard to be a psychologist these days because you have to be more than just a psychologist. You have to be an internet personality, which is what Sadia, you want to know why Sadia Khan and Dr. Orion Taraban got together on Soft White Underbelly? Because it builds their brand. That's all they are, is brands. They're not psychologists. They're like, yeah. Also, by the way, there is a chapter in Orion Taraban's book called Mutiny. Where could that be? Let's see. Why, here it is right here. It's so easy to find too. Oh my goodness. I wonder where he got this. Oh, look. Gosh, what another coincidence that there would be a article on the Rational Mail, December 30th, 2014. And look what it's called. It's called Mutiny. Like how many examples of like outright, it's rejiggered, let's be honest, but outright plagiarism. How many more do I have to put out there to prove this? Because boy, do I have a lot. Let's see. Is it this one?
In general, I often suggest that men not even think about settling down for a long-term relationship until they're at least 35.
What? My goodness, that sounds a lot like, this. 35 is right there. Okay, keep going.
35 means that they're now moving into the real prime of their life.
I wonder where I picked this up.
They might now have some experience with different types of women, so they know kind of what works, what doesn't work, what they like, what they don't like. They probably have better optionality at 35 than they did when they were 25. And they can...
This dude wants to be me. Like, I feel like he would if he could find out where I was, he would kill me and skin me and wear my skin like fucking Hannibal. I'm dead serious, man. This guy is like freaking me out.
Settle down if it's something that's intrinsically motivating to them, not because it's what that particular woman that he happens to be dealing with at that moment wants.
It's like he's searching his brain for what I would say.
Because that is a complete surrender of frame. No matter what
surrender frame.
The relationship was like up until that point. When a man does that, well, he's basically rewarding somebody for threatening to leave. And so all that really does is train the other person to know that if they really want something, they can just give an ultimatum and threaten the basis of the relationship. It also communicates tacitly who has more power, because in that moment when the man caters to the ultimatum, he basically says, I'm not willing to walk. But
Sounds a lot like the cardinal rule of relationships. The one with the most power in any relationship is the one who needs the other the least. Oh, God, who said that? Gosh, how profound. Oh, God. Okay, one more, and I won't subject you to the rest of these. If you want me to, let's see. We haven't done this one. Let's do this one. Oh my God. No. I got to do this one. This one's too good. Here we go.
It's going to be a hard pill for many men to swallow. But
like the bitter taste of the red pill?
But the fact of the matter is that everything that you've ever done for a woman is irrelevant. It does not matter. If it's in the past, it's gone. And this can be very frustrating because some guys have done a lot for their women.
Well, that's funny. This sounds an awful lot like... relational equity. Let's see if I can find it. One thing about WordPress is its search engine sucks. I know it's in here. Hang on. There it is. My goodness, this is one of the classics. This is actually in my book. This is a chapter in the main book. Let's see. Here you go, Orion. Would you like to know where he's ripping this off from? He's ripping it off from Relational Equity, which I wrote in 2012. Gosh, that's an old one. What are you doing with that, Ryan? There we go. Or remember, it could be hypergamy doesn't care. That would be too much. If he started quoting hypergamy doesn't care about, if he started talking about that, where he picked that up from.
Fiji, and they've bought them a car, and they've given them a ring, and the house, and the kids on their timeline. They have done a lot for their women. And these men often believe that what they have done somehow entitles them to some measure of consideration, love, sex, respect, or commitment. Now,
exactly, almost verbatim what I say in Relational Equity.
Now in the present moment. And unfortunately, that's not true. I'm sorry. On some level, I think this is a failure of intersex understanding. The conception of reasonable entitlement is how men think. It's not necessarily how women think. If the two of us were at a bar and you bought me around, the next time you needed a drink, I would buy you around. Why? Because I would feel in some small way as if I were in your debt. This is going to be
This is indebtedness. Okay, so let me pull this out. Let's add this back to the stage, though. Hypergamy doesn't care. Okay. That post was born out of the efforts I've repeatedly read men relate to me when they say how unbelievable their breakups were, as if all the investment, emotional, physical, financial, familial, etc., would be rationally appreciated as a buffer against hypergamy. The reason for their shock and disbelief is that the mental state originates in the assumption that women are perfectly rational agents and should take all of their efforts, all of their personal strengths, all of their involvement in their women's lives into account before trading up to a better prospective male. There is a prevailing belief that all their merits, if sufficient, should be proof against her hypergamous consideration. For men, this is a logically sound idea. All of the investment adds up to the concept of relationship equity. It is particularly jarring for men to consider that all of the equity becomes effectively worthless to a woman presented with sufficiently better prospects as per her dictates of her hypergamy. That isn't to say that women don't take equity into account when determining whether to trade up or in their choices of men that they're single, but their operative point is always hypergamy. Women obviously can control their hypergamic impulses in favor of fidelity, just as men can do to keep their sexual appetites in check, but always know that it isn't the relationship equity she's rationally considering in that moment of decision. If you guys, I'll put the rest of this here in the chat so you guys can see what I'm talking about. And there we go. So I think I'm pretty well grounded, and I feel pretty good in saying that this dude is a fraud and would probably like to wear my skin as a skin suit. He wants to be Rollo Tomasi. That's why he never mentions my name and never will. And, literally dragging shit directly from my books. And so I've had people tell me this. They say, well, Rollo, don't you say that the red pill is open source? It's an open source thing. People should be able to, to use it as they see fit. I'm like, yes, they should. Absolutely. But the thing about open source is this. You take the code that has already been written, usually added to or whatever, modified by other people, and then you add your own shit. And then you say, oh, we could do it better this way. We could do it, right? That's not what he's doing. He's claiming or living it out that this is all novel shit coming from him. He's saying, I wrote the source code. Not, I'm going to build upon this. Not, I'm going to take what Rollo did and stand on the shoulders of giants and build something more, which would be great. God, I would love that. That's what I'm looking at. That's why I say it's open source. But if you're going to claim that you wrote the original code, fuck you. That's plagiarism. And that's exactly what this guy is about. He never responds to anything. I don't know if he might have a PR team. He might have some people in the Philippines doing his tweets for him. I don't know. He doesn't respond to anything. He just keeps plugging along. Maybe that's what I should do. Just keep plugging along. Because these guys need me. It's like Atlas Shrugged. If I stop doing what I'm doing, these guys would be, their brands would die in 2 days. I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to say fuck it and write my own stuff. I'm not going to post anything anymore until I'm completely finished, and then I'll publish. I could do that. I don't have to do YouTube. I don't have to do this stuff. I do it because I like it. But nah. That's plagiarism. Saying you wrote the source code, it's open source. Yeah, it is. But saying you wrote the source code, that's bullshit. That's a lie. And it's even worse when you're taking that source code, saying that it's yours, and then just changing up the words here and there. That's the most annoying part. I'm just going to say it like this. He won't say relationship equity, because if he did, it would be too obvious. Because that's a term I coined way back in 2012, right? If he started using the term, and maybe he has, using the term alpha widow, using the term war brides dynamic, using those terms, those terminologies, he can't get away from the fact that I'm the one that coined those terms. He can't get away from the fact that I wrote the source code for that stuff. And I didn't even write the source code. That was me having conversations with guys on the SoSwab forums for 10, 12, 15 years. So that's not even the source code is not even all mine. It's from my aggregating all of it and doing all the hard fucking work and publishing it in a digestible way. And this guy comes in and just basically, again, was it 48 Laws of Power? Is it number 10? Like, get others to do the work and take all the credit. That's what he's doing. That's all he's ever fucking done. This guy is a fraud. He's a consummate fraud, just like Sadia Khan is a consummate fraud. And anything these guys talk about, by the way, like soft white underbelly guys, if you're watching, have the original guy on, please. And if it's not me, get Myron on. I don't care. You had Jim Sexton on there, and Jim Sexton was supposed to get me on with him. Instead, it's Dr. Orion Taraban. So, Jim, I got to put an asterisk by you, too. This guy is a fucking fraud, and you're platforming a fraud. So, there you have it. I'm done. Let's get to these right quick. If you guys got a question, now's the time to ask. He's rephrasing the red pill for women. Yeah, I think he probably has certainly has a higher concentration. At least I have Soralita. No, she's the face. She's faithful to the end. She's my ride or die chick. Call him Orion Contraband. Yes. He is smuggling your work into the mainstream for the normies to consume and build a brand off of it. Yep. He's a ripoff artist. Why does Rich Cooper bring Orion to events to speak? Because Rich is a ripoff artist as well. Like, if you read, I'm sorry to say, I like Rich, but like, let's just call it what it is. Go and if you read hell, I wrote the intro to the Unplugged Alpha, which is probably not in it anymore. I think he did a second version of it and basically pulled my shit out of it, right? Because he doesn't want the association with me, and that's kind of fucked up because I always considered him a friend, but whatever. Yeah, why does he bring him on? Because he wants some sort of validity, and Orion seems like he's got some sort of validity. He's got a DR in front of his name, and nobody really questions where he got the DR. Like, where'd you originate this? There's this chick who I've been talking to recently. Her name is Coral. I'm going to have her on the show probably in either July or August. She's like a sex therapist, and she has no love for Sadia Khan. And she knows shit about her that I don't, and I'm going to let her let her cook for a little bit on the show about her. The only problem I have with Coral is she tends to lean on social constructionism way too much. But other than that, as far as Sadia Khan's concerned, I would have Dr. Taylor Burrows on if she was interested. She's got me blocked on Twitter, but like, I've sort of had a change of heart about her. So Taylor, if you want to be on the show or you want to do a one-on-one in Vegas, I'm open, please. Why does Rich bring up? Okay, I've been a beneficiary of your work, and I've realized so much of your work to grow their brands. I've used it to grow my life. Thank you. You're welcome, Project. And that's this is what's valuable to me. Just, you know what, here. Comments like this are what's valuable to me. It shows me like I'm always like, well, show me your work. Show me what you built with all of this. That's all I really want. Like, that means more to, like, when people say, hey, here's how I meet people, like, they recognize me in the airport, or like I got recognized twice on the plane going to Miami and back. But the first thing I ask is like, like they say, hey man, your work really saved my life. And I'm just like, who's watching? But if I have time, I ask them about it, and I go, how has it improved your life? And they'll tell me, I did this, I did that. I learned a lot from what you said. And so now I initiated these changes in my life. I didn't give him the plan for those changes. I just gave him the tools to do those things. And that to me is more valuable than anything else, because it changes lives. And when I die, which seems like it's going to be pretty soon, when I die, I want to have put a dent in the universe, and I want to make sure that like I'm leaving people better than I found them. And thank you, Project Althea. That's a really good compliment. Rolo, do you think the red pill is open source and Orion has his own free fork with a different spin on it or slightly different audience? I think I made that pretty clear. I think he's claiming to have written the source code, which, as I said, is why he won't mention my name. He was never mentioned my name. Even Kevin Samuels mentioned my name. I think it would be cool for you all to meet on like whatever and duke it out. I would love to, but that won't happen. He will make sure that it never happens. And Brian won't, because I don't think Brian likes me anymore. Rollo, when people show you who they are, believe them. Yeah, well, I have to also consider that there has to be receipts, right? And each one of these, like, I can show you. Like, it got to the point where I'm like getting fed a daily diet of Orion Taraban in my shorts, right? And I'm like, that's relationship equity. He's using the term complementarity. Like what English speaking person uses the term complementarity in their daily lives, their daily, vocabulary? No one. Oh, your seating frame. Well, that's a great English word, and I love it. And you know what? People told me to like kill your darlings, which is like that, which means like take the word seed and like say, surrender, because it means pretty much the same thing. But he used that word, and I used that word. And I looked at my article that I have on Substack, and then I looked at what he was. It's like basically what he's done is run my Substack article through an AI rejiggering, program. Rewrite this and make it sound like me, right? Boom. But it still uses the words that in my vernacular. Orion's plagiarizing and is off target when he thinks on his own. It's true. Yeah. That's the one thing that's great. Is like when you look at like Tomi, Lahren, or you look at Orion, or you look at, and all these guys, like Orion reads from a teleprompter on every one of his shorts. You can see, because he's like this the whole time, and he's reading the things, and he's doing like his blue eyes. I know they're blue because he just looks at you like this the whole time, right? And he's reading from a teleprompter, which is kind of a skill. It's a talent for sure. I know, I've tried it. But he's reading from a teleprompter from something he wrote or something Chat GPT wrote for him. And I think he probably, because a lot of guys do this, they front load their content. So they'll do some videos on Monday and Tuesday, and that's the week's videos. And then they go off and they do whatever they're going to do. And he still thinks that shorts are like something that's going to build his brand. Shorts are a dying art form right now. Let's see. Orion ripped off Rollo on soft white underbelly. Then his own thought. He agreed with Sadia and said healthy relationships are 90% selection. What about frame? Yeah, he almost goes against everything he says about good relationships. Right? When you got guys who are used to reading from a script, when they freestyle it, when it's like, stream of thought, they don't know what the fuck that's all I do. I don't have a script. This is I've got a list of things I got to get to in a show, which by the way, I'm way over time right now. That's all I do. I do an outline, and then I sync up whatever videos I have to sort of talk about certain things. Sometimes they make it easy for me, and I just have one video and I just riff on that the whole show. But that's all I do. I'm going to seed frame and complementarity. I don't do that. I'm good. I'm good on my own. I'm good on my feet. I'm a fast thinker. I'm an innovator. I'm an ideas guy. These guys are not ideas guys. They're just fast followers. They're using that law of power, right? Get other people to do the work and take all the credit. Am I wrong? I don't think I'm wrong. Bring Owen Cook. He's done more than 99%. Yeah, well, I would love to bring Owen Cook on. I can't though. Owen Cook, and not because we have I love Owen Cook. I have changed my mind about Owen. I will say he knows this too, so he would laugh if I said that. But I love Owen Cook. I think because it took me some time to understand what Owen does, right? And for a guy who's been in this niche for as long as he has, that's impressive, especially when you're like, because he'll tell you he's on the spectrum for sure. But he knows that, and he laughs at that, and he can sort of be like self-deprecating about that and still be like still be good with it. And that's why I kind of like Owen, because he can turn his deficits into benefits. That's one of his strengths. But I would have him on, and Mike, Mike and I have discussed having him on Access Vegas, because he would be great on it, don't you think? He'll be awesome on Access Vegas, but we can't have him on because he has a contract or an NDA or something like that. And I think it's with his old partner, Julian Blanc. I think it's with him, but like his media team or something won't allow him to go and do like our kind of stuff, like do the interviews and do that kind of stuff. We can go on his show, but he can't come on ours. And it's like a legal thing, or it's an NDA. I don't know. I've asked Mike, how can we get the guy on? And if it's us hosting him, we can't do it. But if it's him hosting us, then we can. I don't know how it works. So trust me, we have tried. I'll text Mike right now and see if we can do it. Orion used seating frame and mutiny to taunt you. Yeah, probably. I see you, bitch. You're goddamn right. Yeah, he knows. He knows. That's why he doesn't talk. He's never mentioned my name once. Like, even when he's talking about, like, when he's talking shit about the hosts of certain, like, podcasts and stuff, which would be really Myron Gaines, he'll still won't mention anybody by name. Never. He never mentions anyone by name, and certainly doesn't mention me by name. Even in my studio, even in Red One Studios, dude he doesn't give, nobody gets flowers. Well, I don't get flowers. CGA being in my studio, dude, I'm honored to have CGA in the studio. I want to do a show with CGA. I wonder if I would love to get him on for God, wouldn't that be awesome? Get CGA on an episode of Access, if you do it on Access Vegas. That'd be badass. We had Jed on. Jed will probably be on again. She wants to come on again. Shit, that was a great show. I'd have her on all the time if I could. But I don't want to tap it out. So we'll probably, I don't know if we'll have her on next week, but certainly in the coming, like probably in July. Well, maybe mid-June. We'll see. But yeah, I would love to have Owen on, but that's hard to do. Mike's been on his shows. Mike has been on his streams, but it's Owen doing the hosting. It's not like Mike's not even asking questions. He's just there. It's almost like he's along for the ride. And it works good for him. I don't know if it works good for us. So I wonder if I can get my devil horns again. Look, I kind of do it right here. I need to maybe if I lift the thing, or if I drop the seat, then I can't do anything. There you go. There you go. Okay. Mike is a groupie. He's a groupie for Owen. Yeah. So am I. You want to know who can talk? Owen Cook can talk. He's the king of like all talking. I can talk for 3 hours and 40 minutes, but Mike can go on forever, and Owen can go on forever, infinity. Right? Well, thank you. I'm flattered, but he's a good dude. I'll try to be humble here. Yeah, I think so too. I would really love to have CGA on Access Vegas. I think he'd do it. Maybe he would. Is he still MGTOW? Do you think is Joker still MGTOW? Do they still like consider themselves MGTOW? That was their whole shtick in 2018. I'm just wondering if that still applies now. That would be interesting. Bring on Owen Cook. I got to you guys already. All right, that looks good to me. Well, it's time for me to go eat. It's time for me to go feed the pups too. Gosh, it's way past time. Oh no, they're fed. Okay, good. I thought I was gonna have to feed them. So once again, my medical issues is I have shingles. If you would like to see my shingles, it's a $500 super chat because I don't want to show them this nasty shit. Papa Nurgle has come to visit Rolo Tomasi. Uncle Tomasi, yes. I am in rough shape, and they're like, there's nothing uglier than that. It's like, I don't know, birthing stretch marks and shit. It's horrible. Please. Joker's chilling now. Joker is MGTOW. Okay, so that's good. Well, it's hard to say these days, you know. When they go on shows, I think it kills me. Here's no hate, no flame. I love Richard Cooper. I know he lifts my material. I know he's like, he wants to separate himself from all of this and be his own sort of island. And the problem is no one gets away. You can't get away. No one gets away from the red pill. Sorry. You can call it the mana swamp, whatever you want. I love how I get like low key like shit on for starting Access Vegas and doing the show, and then like seriously like later, like 3 months later, you know, Rich Cooper has what is it, Ladies Night, which is basically he's trying to pull a Fresh and Fit via StreamYard. You can only have 10 people on. Once you get to that, you're done. But I think it's interesting, like how I get criticized for shit, and then he does the same shit like 3 months later. Okay. I'll just keep doing what I'm doing. It seems to be working. There's no money in it, by the way. Like everything you do, there's no money in it whatsoever. And then I'll tell you what's funny is when I started doing the because I do all the thumbnails because I'm a creative guy. I'm an ideas guy. I'm an artist, actually. My other degree is a BFA, Bachelor's of Fine Art. I have a degree in behavioral psychology, and I have a BFA in fine art. Isn't that cool? I know shit about art. I love art. I make art. I write. I play music. I paint. I draw. Sometimes I sculpt, but it's like little shit, like modeling stuff. Photography, digital media. I'm in love with like Midjourney V8 and what's the other animation. I love doing the AI animation stuff. I've been toying with that for a while. Mike's all about perplexity and the information. Like he wants OPSEC from Perplexity. I'm like, hey, look, I can make this alien shake hands with the Pope. This is neat. What do you think? Oh yeah, keep going, bro. Yeah, and like people don't know that. I should do a show dedicated to all the things you don't know about me. I have a brother. I have a younger brother. Ned and Anna are number 8 and number 9 of the greyhounds I've owned, because greyhounds are very fragile and they live very short lifespans. They are prone to osteosarcoma. So what's my Rumble handle? I think it's Rational Male. I'm not sure. I do have a Rumble. I didn't stream it today, but because I'm sick, and I forgot. What else don't you know about me? I played guitar forever. Oh, people don't know. I spent 7 years studying Latin guitar. So I like Paco Peña. I like, trying to think who else I like. Sabicas. A lot of the old school flamenco guitars. I love that sound. I have, I'm looking at it right now. I have a baglama, a long neck baglama. I'm going to get a short neck one too. I have an oud, courtesy of Dr. Red Pill in Turkey. And that's Dr. O's gave me that oud. And I also have Irish bouzouki, and I have Mediterranean, Middle Eastern bouzouki in the living room. I can play exotics. Anything with strings I can pretty much play. I can play piano. What else? What else do you want to know? I like talking. I like telling people things that they don't know about me. Oh, thanks for throwing. Hey, did you, Sam, can you put that link to the Fresh and Fit video? Can you put that in the chat so everybody can check it out? Owen Cook plus Rolo on FNF begins 2 hours and 11 minutes into it. Yeah, put that if you haven't done it already, put the link to that so people can see. So yeah, I have been on a show with Owen. It was just kind of a quick impromptu thing. He just happened to be in the area and he jumped on the show. It was pretty cool. It was fun. Anyways. All right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. hopefully you've learned something. I think I gave you some pretty good content today, didn't I? Would you like to know about shingles? Let's see what else. Oh, I got to plug my Substack. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for your continued support. Ned very much loves you all too. I love it when Ned gets to come in here. So anyways, thank you guys for watching today. And I am going to, let's see, what do I got going on? We have Access Vegas, assuming I'm like not contagious anymore, on Wednesday. So that's coming up. We got some other surprises, some guest surprises coming up in the summer. Like we're hitting the summer months now. So starting in June, we've got a different plan. We're still doing it on Wednesdays. We have more girls than we know what to do with. Every time we do the show, especially when we had Jed on, like I had so many chicks who said, I want to be on with that bitch. Like, she's actually pretty cool, but you can be on. Let's see. Crystal Bex is still with Alvaro. I saw some quick reel of the two of them on Memorial Day. I didn't mean to be a matchmaker. Alvaro's my friend. I love Alvaro like a brother now. But anyways, yeah, he's still with it. Babes in Toyland is, I met my wife. Yeah, you're right. No, don't ban him. Don't ban him. It's the end of the show. He could say what he wants to. That's fine. Please. Lisa Sparks. My wife is Lisa Sparks. My wife is Morgan Fairchild. Yeah, that's it. That's the ticket. She's Morgan Fairchild. Anyways, all right, guys, I'm gonna get out of here. If you want merch, if you want whether it's Jinx merch, my band, you can even get Trial of Ascension stuff there. It's on a Sticker Mule. So I have a Sticker Mule store. If you want the link is in the description. You got to click on more and it's down just a little bit. You'll say merch and then you can go click there. There is Access Vegas merch. There is Red One Studio merch. There is Jinx merch and there's my stuff. Just go check it out. See if there's something you want. It's mostly t-shirts and it supports the show. And Ned gets to eat farmer's dog food if you do that. So anyways, I got to get out of here. My back is killing me. It's gabapentin time with Lisa Sparks, my wife. Yes. Jesus Christ. It can't be like a good porn star, please. Like, can it be like, even if Alexis Fox, can it be Alexis Fox? What's the other chick's name? I forget. Anyways, I know so many porn stars. I forget the names. Anyways, I will talk to you guys later. Thank you guys for watching. Next show is, we'll do a regular time, hopefully on Sunday. And let me know if you guys, we actually got, what are we at? We're at 2435 people watching. It's not too bad on a Saturday. Do you like Saturday shows? I might do Saturdays. This has actually worked out pretty well for me. Anyways, maybe I'll consider doing Saturday shows. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I love all of you. Please send all of your well wishes and everything. And God bless Thor. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest. I will see you guys later. Thank you for watching. And vaya con Dios. Where do we go? There it is. Okay, bye-bye.
I can feel you on top of me. No. It was my first time, but I was just a kid when we met and went to bed. It was my first time. What do you expect from me? I'm breaking up the rules, now I'm the game. I've got some new tools, please do the same. Time came by when over like a matchbox stereo.
Tell these bitches to go to hell.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Night. But maybe we can fuck again, and maybe things be different. Yeah. Try to, baby, one more again. can fuck again. Then maybe things be different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. You could have the best of my life.
Kowalski analysis.
Now we're fucking in the bathroom, tearing up everywhere while I got your hair. Why you screaming my name?
That's nasty. It is nasty, right? Isn't it nasty? Oh.
She was swinging in the bedroom, whole time stopping and slipping with her hair. She's calling you Kelly. Well, I'm a whore. Run me up and down like a pony. Turning up my soul, getting messy. Walking up and down on your body. Run me up and down like a pony. Turning up my soul on your body. Baby, would you down to it all now? Baby, would you fuck again? And maybe things are different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. Won't you put it on me one more again? I need to know. And baby, we can fuck again. Then maybe things are different. Goddamn, baby, one more again. I feel like I just sit back and battery acid.
Sitting Podcast has been a production of The Irrational Male. All rights reserved 2025. Registered trademark. And don't steal Ned's stuff.
God wants you to have the baby.